So get in the chat and tell everybody I'm live. Yeah. On it, yeah. And there's nobody in here because they're gonna have to click out of that one and go to one.
Click on the one that just says that waiting.
No, I don't know. Yeah, it should be coming.
Yeah, because I'm in your thing now. They're already having a combo, bro.
All right, we got 5 people in here already. How's it going, guys? I'm sorry. My bad on that, guys. Yeah. Well, we had snow here, and so it's out.
Found it, sorry.
All right. So anyway, we have snow here, and everybody's trying to help me fix it. It looks like we got it. All right. So so Rooster and Shadow Mask. Yo, man. Michael Camp. Yes. We'll get Yeah. All right. So you're out, huh? Let's see. All right. Well, I don't know, guys. Well, we got 9 already in here. I'm sure that hey, man, how's it going? Gilg, and that's and his channel's coming up. You guys need to check his channel out. He's gonna have some good videos lately. 6GDC. Yeah. Okay. So we're in. Everybody's here. Good. That makes me happy. Who else? Read the chat on my phone if I'm just sitting here. Get this set up like real people here. All right. All right, guys. So anyway, you know what, man? There's been so much going on this week. I mean, and a couple of weeks ago when I did the other one, there was so much going on. It's just insane. I mean, I don't even know where to begin. From all around the world, everything we're seeing, and with me thinking that everything is a hoax and a psyop. See, sometimes whenever I think about things like this, worldwide events, I think that the people probably look at all the American media and everything, and they believe all the hype, just like a lot of Americans here do. They believe the hype, man. They really do. And so around the world, they're believing the hype too. And maybe they're doing all this shit for the wrong reasons. Maybe they're fighting the wrong, you know what I mean? I mean, obviously they are. They're fighting for the wrong reasons, I think. They don't know what they're fighting for. Unbelievable. But they're fighting. They're out in the streets. I mean, I see them all over the world. They don't want to wear the facial yarmulkes. They don't want to get involved in any of that. Time cop, future cop. Cheers, brother. Yeah. I don't know. But that was what I was thinking of, a lot this week on the vaccinations and reading the book of Revelations and seeing what John had to say about that, what Christ said in his vision, things of that nature. Just reading up on stuff, just looking into it, and just refreshing myself with everything that I have read in the past and asking for clarity on these things. But unfortunately, there's very little clarity other than what we already know, which is that this has got to be, anytime they push for something like this, it's got to be bad. So, has anybody got anything they want to inject into this? Weird how people don't wear masks in public yet still believe in a virus. Well, my thing is whenever I was watching a video by Misha something, I don't know. He has it. It's car video stuff, and he's at the Nürburgring in Germany there, and he was filming cars, waiting for him to come by on the track there, and he was standing up filming a line of badass cars, right? And a cop car came into view, and he just immediately sat down where he was. He just sat down, because he was scared. Because he said that standing without a mask is illegal, but sitting with one isn't. So automatically, like a chicken that sees a chicken hawk, they're scared no matter what. They don't, it's bred in them to be fearful and full of fear. Hey, Mary, how are you doing? What's up, Rooster? What is it, bro? Yeah, I remember you, Kundalini. I remember you trolling with all the crazy shit. Don't get banned, dude. Please don't. Just don't, because I will be quick to ban your ass. But if you want to talk something regular, if you want to talk something real, do it. But if you want to talk that dumb shit, then you get banned, because I don't have time for that. We don't have time anymore for people like that. Arguments and debates. We're really trying to figure things out here. That's what this point of this is. Okay. Yeah, sitting with a mask. Yeah, what the I see. Yeah, that's what it is, Rooster. I get it. Yeah, I'm slow today, guys. I'm really irritated with my internet. Yeah, King. It's all good, bro. Just be cool. You can ask anything. I don't care. If you've watched some of my videos, I'm sure you have by now. You know. Okay? That's the way I am. No apologies whatsoever. Good. I'm glad. I'm fantabulous. Solutions. That's what we want. I mean, everybody knows what the problems are by now. It's what is the solutions? Because some of the people that we follow in certain groups in conspiracy circles and what white folks like to watch, everybody has all the problems all laid out for you, but they never have a solution. They never do. They don't want to work on them because it takes work. We expect everybody to take responsibility for themselves and their actions. We've got to take some responsibility rather than just sitting back and, like me, just pointing all these things out. Maybe to look for something and to say that there's a way to get out of this. I don't think there is, because I think this is all biblical personally. I think we're going to, the people who run this are going to run it into the ground, just like they promised they would in the Bible and other books. Okay. So, and not just books. You kept saying that it would be used a tool for the elites. You are. Okay. All right. So you believe Black Lives Matter. We can get right in on this. I didn't put any pants on for this on purpose. Nice. Anyway, you were a Black Lives Matter supporter. You said Black Lives Matter were, for the blacks because of the insane injustices perpetrated on the blacks over the years. And in particular, police brutality, I think you told us last night on Reg's stream. Now that's patently absurd. But if you want to get into that conversation, we certainly can. The thing is that you're talking to a guy who thinks that BLM is no different than the RNC, the DNC. It's just a political organization that uses the premise of something to sell the goyim. You're a Kundalini king is a goy. I don't care what you think. And to them, you're nothing. You're just as low as you think I am. Okay. And so therefore, that's what they're trying to sell you. They're selling you this version of the world that makes you into the person that's been oppressed and victimized, and that you're going to somehow take this shit over from everybody. And you're going to make me just stop being who I am and drop all of our arms and drop all of our everything that we are because we're sorry and we want to bend the knee to you. No, that's never going to happen, Kundalini King. No. Okay. And any amount of banging little white girls, like I know you probably like to do, and just disrespecting, any amount of that isn't going to change anything, man. We still know what you are. The proof is in the pudding. You know what I'm saying? If all you do is walk around thinking with your dick, then that's very apparent to us. Very apparent. Because I gotta have my Nikes and I gotta have everything, yo, so I can look good for these white girls. Because I gotta get back on these white men for doing what they did to my ancestors. They didn't really do nothing to me, and the people doing it now ain't the ones that did it back in the back times. But whatever, though, because I'm a victim. I've been told that I'm a victim. You're pathetic. Yeah, I've been around a lot of black people and I've heard a lot of black bullshit. 6. So that's why I know. Heard it all of my life, everywhere I've grown up. It's been preached to us. It was just stamped into our fucking heads, and I don't like it. So I'm glad this guy's on here, troll or not, whatever he is. It's good that he's here. He should hear this shit. So anyway, guys, the definition of communism, Jack, is people with the lowest IQ taking what everyone knows Europe's built. Yeah, Europeans built. He thinks that Biden won fair and square. See, that's preposterous. And you know I don't get into the politics very much. You know I don't, but I do watch it, and I am very much pay attention to it, and I see that they stole that. I mean, it's all a rigged thing anyway, but they sure did rig it for that Biden, didn't they? They want that. They want the fall of this country. I mean, listen, guys, it's so simple. Look, Iran is a nuclear power, supposedly, and I know we talked about nuclear, but nuclear in as much as you can make power from nuke power, okay, and be off the grid to the IMF and the different World Bank organizations, all right, with their tentacles, all right. You can be, okay, no, they have quietly taken down everyone that General Flynn said they would take down. They're quietly taking them down. And we're obviously one of the last ones. America, come on now. That is on you. That's on you, man. Listen, Kundalini King, listen to me, man. That's on white women. That ain't on me. Okay, right. No, wrong. Okay. You have had it in your stupid ass mind all of your life and I can tell because that right there proves to me, what you just said proves to me that you take no responsibility whatsoever. Dude, can't you see what you just... These little white girls have been programmed to hate white men from the 50s and 60s on up, all right, through your Archie Bunkers and your everything else. They've been proven that, and your fake ass, Dr. Huxtable, who, and all that Bill Cosby nonsense in the 80s, that black families were anything, oh God. And every white person you saw, every white father was a dirty idiot, was a fool. And all he was there for was just to do the bidding of the family and not to look up. Just think Al Bundy. Just think Al Bundy. Just stick your hand in your pants, watch TV, and forget about it, man. Just forget about everything. It doesn't matter. And while Al Bundy was on in the late 80s there, they launched that CIA affront to humanity of rap music, which I'm sure you listen to a lot of rap music. I'm sure that's great for you. I bet you love it. Trap house music and everything that you can do and bang everybody and do everything. Come on, man. Come on, man. Your culture is pathetic. Pathetic. And it's oozing over into my culture. Very much so, until we see these little white girls twerking, and you take advantage of that, man. You take advantage of that like the snake that you are, man. It's fine, man. I have no love for you, man. None. Rodney King. Bro, you must be young, man. I remember when Rodney King happened. I was living in San Diego. Whenever all that went down, you know nothing, man. I was a grown-ass man when that went down. You probably weren't born. So get out. Get out. Or come with something better than Rodney King, dude. Get out of here. Yet another hoax and a psyop for the people. Anyway, let's see. Rodney King. Yeah, I'm glad you're here, Kundalini, but you're way off base, brother. Oh, of course, 6. Don't even worry about it. It was no disrespect. I do that. I'm still irritated because I was remembering and Reg did a good job on his stream. He has more tact than I do. Yeah. Who's a name dropper? Gilg or we'll call you on here. We need people to go to We need to go to his channel. He's putting out some good stuff. And Bleak, of course. White folks, it ain't over till we say it's over. You know what's so great about the LA riots and all these riots? We've got people speaking English, driving around in our Western automobiles, using electricity from Benjamin Franklin, Tesla, and the like, using devices, doing everything they do, eating food and products that were made by white people in the Midwest. I mean, I know there's far more to it than what I'm saying, but listen, man, the overall gist of it. And they're going to tell us in our language that it's over when they say it's over. No, no, it's over when we say it's over, boy. And your time is almost over. Okay. This time of you being a useless eater and taking everything out of the palms of our hands and then slapping us in the face, those days are over, man. Those days are quickly coming to an end. Funny how that continues to slow the white truck driver being pulled. Oh, God. Okay. Rodney King, if I think it's a hoax, Coon, Delaney, sorry about that, brother. I think it's a hoax that the whole Rodney King thing. But even if it wasn't, he admittedly was going over 100 miles an hour on surface streets down the street, all right? Then they pull him out of the car and he's high and jacked up on PCP, and that's why they beat him like they did, okay? And I'm saying it's all an act. And he sure enough was high on PCP, and they did what they said they were going to do. They beat him, and it was all a Masonic ritual in the middle of the street. Regardless, even if it wasn't, what does it matter? He was doing something, okay? Reginald Denny, the white boy that they pulled out of the truck and hit with the brick and did all that to, Holmes, that was a white guy doing his job, delivering weave and Michael Jordan shoes to your neighborhoods, okay? That's what he was doing. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want you to have listen, I don't debate people because there is absolutely 100% no debate. Now, there are points and finer points that me and my people here talk about, and I can be corrected on those. Absolutely not a problem. And I get corrected on those quite often. But whenever we're talking, there's no debate on these bigger issues. We put them behind us, Satan. So there you go. Rodney King wasn't pulled out of his car by a bunch of citizens on the streets. Big ass difference. Useless eater. Yeah. Some of us are useless eater. I know you're not debating me, bro. I know. And because there wouldn't be anyone anyway, bro. You brought up Rodney King. Are you going to bring up, something? Are you going to bring up slavery next? Or how about you bring up, let's see, what would be another great one that you could bring up? Just name some, guys. What are some of the stuff that we could bring up if we were black folks? What would we bring up that would make everything right, what we're seeing? Make all these people, the million acts of violence against white people every single year by black citizens. What would make that right? The 100,000 rapes on white women by black men every year, and the 9 or 10 that white men do to black women every year. What would make it right, Kundalini King? Tell me. What from the past that you didn't go through would make it okay for what we're seeing today? And that we don't go out in the streets, King. We don't do that, okay? Kang, I'm sorry. You're Kang, okay? And I think Malcolm X was right too. Yeah. He wanted separation. So do I. Emmett Till, there you go. I was thinking of Emmett Till. Thank you, Hugo. I just got off on another tangent like I always do. Thank you for bringing me back to earth. Emmett Till. Did you know, and a lot of Colin listeners will know this, but did you know that Emmett Till's father was put into the military because he was a rapist? And he went over to Europe and he raped those Italian women and those women over there. That's Emmett Till, okay? And then the story of how he whistled at a white woman or whatever it was, and they killed him. Come on, guys. Is that the best you got? There was a kid that got killed recently here in Fort Smith. He was at an apartment complex, and 2 black guys came in, kicked his door in, and shot him and took his stuff from him. No Emmett Till, no evening news. Nobody even knows about it. Okay. So you know nothing, man. And whenever you learn something, you can come back and you can talk to Jack and have some fucking respect. I can't believe it. That's why everybody couldn't believe it in that stream yesterday that you came in there with your ridiculous BBC and all your bullshit, man. That was a dishonorable thing to do to our live stream and Reg's live stream. We don't play that shit over there. That's not what that's for. I wish you could have caught me last week when I was sick, boy, because this week I'm not having it. I'm not having it. I'm feeling a little bit better. I'm still ashing and I don't feel good, but I'm feeling a hell of a lot better than I did last week. Always good enough to trounce you any way you want to. What is capitalism? Isn't okay. Okay, all right. Isn't the white man's system destroying the earth right now? No. You okay? All right. Okay. Our system was set up for us by us, jack off. And here's why it's imploding on itself because of you, because of your kind. And hey, useless eaters on my side too. Come on now, let's just be honest here. But with your hands out and your just that mentality of gives me, gives me, gives me. That's why it fails, because we can't provide enough for all of you that it doesn't affect us. We can't provide enough for you that it takes away from our family, man. And I know black people work. I'm not a damn fool. Some of y'all do. Come on now. No, we're gonna leave him on for a little bit, time cop, and then we'll block that fool. It's all good, bro. I'm gonna stay on for 2 or 3 hours, so we'll have our time, guys. Anyway, I wanted to get it in here and have people in here, and and get it up, because there's nothing worse than listening to a live stream that doesn't have anything. So we started off with a bang, but we'll slow our roll. The collapse has to happen. No matter what religion you say you are, or even if you say you are no religion whatsoever, you can feel it. It's not just BS that something is, amiss. Everybody knows it. All the numbers are tracking. Everything's tracking. It's a cycle. It's a cycle, and we're living in one. Okay. Time cop is right. Okay. Well, the next time this bastard, you guys can block him too. What did he say, Kundalini? What did you say? Let's see. Oh, okay. Let's see. Malcolm X is right. Yeah. Well, what is a capitalist? Okay. Yeah. Well, so you don't know anything. Okay. Capitalism. You think that's destroying? No, corporatism is destroying the world. Globalists. Capitalism just means that we can sell to each other and we can buy and sell. I mean, it gets perverted every time. If you want to call it something else, what do you want to live under socialism? I bet you do, because socialism would give you even more money. I bet somebody like you's best thing in the world would be they gonna give me $2,000 a month. Every person in the house gonna get $1,500, $2,000 a month for the rest of our lives, yeah. Free from the government. Free from the government. And if we take the vaccination, we get the money. You're so moronic, you don't understand. This is how they're going to get us. Yeah, you can block them. Anybody wants to block them, block them. That's right, Mike Kemp. That's right. Just enough. And I'm all about some gallows humor. Yeah, and I don't want to run people off. Even Kundalini King, he could learn. He could learn not to be such a victim. And he could learn how to rise up and say, hey, man, look, we could do this. We could work together. But until you people have to do that, we're not going to bend the knee. Okay. You might have got some cuckold whites to do that and a bunch of Jews to bend the knee to you and politicians who are reading from a fucking script. But let me tell you something. If you believe that I would bow before you in any way, shape, or form, okay, I'd rather die. And that's what I'm talking about. No, because you're the one that called. Hey, I was reading before. I'm only coming at you like this because you're a punk, bro. You were saying that I wasn't a man of my word. Everybody that watches my live streams knows that, I might be a little late coming in. It's just the way it is, man. But I'm not a man of my word, and you're talking mess. Come on, man. Come on. You don't know me that well. I don't need to know you. This is one of those times where I said I hated that I'm judging a book by its cover, but not really, am I? Because from what you've said in the chats and and everything, that's not really judging. You've put out there what your beliefs are, and that you're a victim. We see that. Anyway, I'm the minority's best friend. They don't even see it. What the hell? I got to get that back down here. That's too great. have enabled them their entire lives by threat of violence from the IRS police. This is great. Yeah. No, you shouldn't have, bro. I can give you that right back. I don't know why. Yeah, there you go. Now you are one. We want to give everybody a wrench that's in here because you guys can drop links. And now we've been on for 25 minutes, so we can start the stream. I'm done with Kundalini. We can go on to bigger and better things, guys. That was fun though for a second. I told him that, but he had nothing. I mean, if you're gonna bring up Rodney King, and come on, guys, come on. What is this? 1992 or three? Come on, man. Look at, I mean, how can we have that? That's 30 years ago, man. 30 years ago that they're bringing up stuff from 30 years ago. And I happen to know that there was black mob violence in Dallas, and there was multiple shootings in several different cities last night. Chicago. You people are killing your own kind faster than I could ever do it. He's not the enemy, just another brainwasher. Yes, that's what I think. That's kind of what I think. You know what I mean? I don't hate him, man. I really don't. I hate you know what I hate is simply his ideologies. And why do I hate him? Because they come from his father, the devil, Straight up. How do we help? By being ourselves, by just being a beacon of light that you are. And the reason I needed to talk to God before I talked to you, Gil, just to let you know, brother. We're on another level, and I can't come at you with some weak shit. I don't think they want our help either, bro. California already started a committee to, yeah, reparations. You should come to Cali, Kunta Kinte, get you some more Gibbs. Unreal, guys. Unbelievable. They want to, it's so obvious that they want to start a civil war. They know that there are standoffish white people, millions of them, tens of millions of them, and that we're all armed to the teeth. They know that we do. I don't think you were kings in Egypt. I think you were slaves in Egypt, and that's what you always were, bro. Okay? I hate to break it down to you like that. I don't think that where did the intelligence skeet out from if you were so Kang-like back then? Okay, where you were mystic builders of pyramids and great things, and now you beat people for weaves and Nike shoes. I mean, that's a fall. That's a fall, bro. I don't believe you were Kangs. I'm sorry. Well, there you go. Bleak Narratives is telling the truth inside the chat. So is Yes, sir. Truth bombs being dropped. What up, Incessant? Good to see you, bro. Yeah, we were just waiting. We had people in here. I don't even know how many are in here anymore. It doesn't even matter, guys. We've started now in earnest. So let's start it. We had talked about some stuff. Like I said, I like the way that Reg does his, and it's not quite the same here. We start off with some kind of ridiculous 25-minute rant against a BLM supporter instead of telling you what the news was. But that's okay. All right. Africans, not Nubian. Okay. White people can tan. They burn and turn red. Man, I tan. Are you crazy? Look at this. I got to ask you, bro. How old are you? Are you 10 or maybe 12 years old? Because that's the mentality of your kind. If I'm thinking right on, you might be 25 years old, but are you 10 or 12? Is your mental acuity that of a 10 or 12-year-old? Because that's how you're coming across, bro. That's pathetic, bro. We're trying to help you, man. U.S. Treasury hacked. Yes. Treasury hacked. And I had seen your video while I was trying to set up and trying to scramble here to go live. And I was listening to your video while it was going on. So I missed part of it. But yeah, I mean, look, they want to make all of everything that we trusted, everything that we ever trusted, they wanted to make it go down. Everything that we believed in, everything that we knew was going to happen. Football was going to happen on Sundays, and America, but baseball was as American as apple pie. World Series in October, and hey, that's just sports stuff. Okay, they took all that shit away, but they also wanted to take that thing away where we worked for ourselves and we worked for our people in our communities with the factories that opened up in all the different little places around this country, and that was something we could all rely on. And what did they do? They took all those factories out of here and they shipped them overseas and they shipped them down south, and they left us with Kundalini King and his sisters. That's what they left us with, and no money, and still, no job prospects for millions and millions of people. And they knew what that would do. And then they poured dope and crack and drugs, hydrocodones, and all that opiates. What do they call them? All that shit on the people. They've done it, done it, done it. They did it to the Kundalini Kings, and they've done it to the white people too. They didn't just poison the black community. The poor white people were in those cities too. The leftovers, the remnants that couldn't run away, they were left in those cities too. And nobody ever says a word about them because I'm a culture. Guys, you don't want me to go off on a rant. They. Well, who do you want they to be? Do you want me just to straight up say who they are every single time and get a show it? I mean, I think that over 150 videos and 5 or 6 live streams, people would know who the fuck I was talking about when I said they. Good Lord. So anyway, let's see. Tommy Sotomayor on YouTube calls his own people out all the time, and his black people hate him for it. That's right. No, black people don't hate him for it. Joggers hate him for it. Riggers hate him for it. Kundalini Kings hate him for it. Black people are like, yeah, absolutely. This guy's speaking the truth. Small hats. That's right. The small hats. The tribe is responsible. I mean, we all know that. That's right. Zionists. You can call them whatever you want to. We know who they are. Ben Shapiro. Biden, the crypto. He might as well be one. Even if the Jewish blood doesn't flow through his veins, he's a Zionist. He's an Uncle Tom. Of course, Kundalini. Of course, anyone that would call black people out for being what they are is not blacks. You. Anyone would call you out for anything is an Uncle Tom or a white supremacist or a Nazi or whatever, any of the million things that you can call us. He doesn't want to be white. I don't think. Does he? I mean, I haven't heard him in a while. I think he just wants to be right. Regardless of color or race, in the end, there's a lot of differences in people, obviously. There's a lot, okay? I'm not trying to say that there isn't. I'm just saying that I've heard black people be right about things, and I've heard Asians be right about things to their core, and it struck me, so I know. And so at the deepest base of who we are, we can be right, okay? It's just that I'm a white. So of course I'm going to think white is right. I mean, who wouldn't? Black King over here, he probably thinks. And you're not black, you're mulatto. See, here we go with all that. You're a pure African. Oh God. This is great. You can handle Kundalini King. Do whatever you want to him. Yeah, it's insane, Kundalini. I'm with you, Gilg. Good Lord, man. Pure African, huh? Tariq Nasheed's talk about white supremacy, yet his mother-in-law is Jewish. Well, there you go, dude. Yeah, he's an idiot. Oh, so half doesn't count. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll pretend I'm white then. See, that's insane. I mean, look, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I got a brother that's half Cuban and half white. He doesn't identify as either. He identifies as himself. I mean, of course he identifies as white. That's what he looks like. That's what he is. I don't know. But he's an American. He was born in America. You keep saying you're African. Speak some of the dialect, man. Let's type it out. We want to see some African dialect since you're an African. An African would know how to do that, right? I've met South African men that could speak more African than you could, any of the dialects. Fuck out of here. You're not an African. You're a simple black American. Very simple. Just admit what you are, man. Yeah, Incessant is a badass. I love Incessant. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, if you guys want to keep him in, I mean, it's some of the best stuff that you'll ever have. I mean, it makes the chat lit, dude. I love it. I need to stop looking at it, but it's just too funny. I'm sorry, guys. Anyway, this is great. Oh my goodness. Tim, he's in here with Reg. Oh God, this is great, guys. This is all of our old time friends and buddies. They're all in here. All right. Well, anyway. All right. So it snows in Arkansas. Snowing. I was looking at the radar, my radar, el radar, and sure enough, we've had some snow there over Oklahoma and into Arkansas and in Missouri a little bit. But it looks like it's a big weather system over the central of this country. It had an effect on my signals here. There's nothing racist about seeking above life itself, the integrity of your tribe's future, because it's literally the last line of defense we have. Without identities, we're easily subjugated. If they just lump us all in together and call us goy, then they've won, But they take identity politics and turn it into that. They turn it into politics. Your identity, you being you, and saying, no, I stand with a tribe, a certain people, and if you don't, then you don't. We could easily make that happen. They forced segregation on us. No, they forced integration on us. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Let's force segregation on them. Black people are calling for segregation. I wonder what they would do, though. I wonder what they're going to do. Like I had said in that video, Jogger's Paradise, your paradise is going to be set up by you, okay? If you're going to step away and you're going to act like you guys can do it without the white man's help, then which is the builders of everything, okay? Even if we were just living in thatch huts, we'd still be building them and you'd be out doing nothing, okay? Trying to look for roots to dig up to get high on while we built everything. And then you'd come back high and tell us how this is actually our place. We know you built it, but see how you would do that? No matter what we did, you people would do that to us. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. So anyway, everybody be cool in the chat. I'm reading it, guys. You know how I am. I'm trying to catch back up. But if you want to kick Kundalini King's ass out of here, then that's fine. I could care less, man. I'm about done with Kundalini King. There's no waking somebody up. There's no helping somebody that does not want to be helped. There is no pushing, the water down the throat of the horse. You're not going to do it. Drown him. Drown the horse. Who colonized and raped and pillaged? Oh, my God. Oh. Okay. It is a well-known fact that Black people sold each of your people a long time ago into slavery, okay? We did not go into the interior of Africa and steal people out of there, okay? We went to the ports and we picked them up on slaves. It's on YouTube, okay? Who sold who, all right? We can see it. The Africans even know this story. It's funny that you're an African and you don't know this story. But sure enough, okay, the Jews and the Muslims went over there and found you people warring and found that there was a lot they could get slaves. It happened in Ireland too, jack off. Anywhere that you can subjugate people and get them at their weakest spot, a warring tribe that had been beaten, okay, and put in chains. And those African people would take those people and say, we can make money off them. There's these Jews and these Arabs want to buy these people. And they're taking them all around the world, man. Okay. And they sold you and you are a remnant of a weak ass tribe that got beat and sold into slavery. How does it feel? We tried to bring things to your continent because there was massive wealth and resources there, and show you how to take them, show you how to use them, show you how to better yourself, and get out of that warring bullshit that you've been in for thousands of years. But you didn't want it. You wanted it to be what it was. Okay, so, and I mean, just look at the place now. I mean, oh, that's why I hate it. I know you. Okay, so you know about the Arabs. That's what I was saying, Gil. What happened to these IQs that built these Egyptian pyramids and all of this that they claim they did? Did they just drop off? Did the IQs just drop off whenever they were put on slave ships? Because they didn't build any structures over here to speak of. They might have helped build barns and stuff, and I'm sure they helped build the cities that they were in. They were slaves. You'd push a wheelbarrow around a job site and hammer some nails in, but you weren't drawing up the drawings for the major structures, and you weren't setting up all the architecture needed and infrastructure needed to set up cities in the manner in which you're living. I mean, oh, how could we take you out of Africa in the mud huts and bring you over here, and then you suddenly built our civilization for us? We came from Europe that already had a civilization. You didn't build it. Oh, man, you are so, I guess the books you read are just the ones that tell you what you want to hear, not the truth. You can't read a book by some person that had a 2-year degree at a community college, and she's black, and she knows because she Maya Angelou devotee, and she gonna tell you through her visions she had all the things that happened to blacks. And that's the kind of books you people are reading and taking seriously. I'm reading different books, architecture and design books, volumes 1 through 50. Yeah. Capitalism. Well, listen, brother, I tell you what you can do, since you hate our system so much. And I know Reg probably won't like this, but this is not for you, Reg. You can get the fuck out of our country. Buy yourself a ticket with this capitalistic money that we have, okay? Get it from one of your white girls that you fuck, all right? And get a ticket and take your monkey ass back to Africa, okay? That's what you can do. Since you hate capitalism, and you're going to find out something, boy. You're going to find out that they want to be us so bad over there now that they're doing anything they can do to be westernized. Anything they can do. And they're coming over here in droves, and they're going across water that would kill people to make it to Europe. And they're taking their lives in their own hands, and they're using these NGOs to do it. And the Jews are letting them pour into Europe. You know nothing, man. You know nothing. And since I consider myself to know nothing, then what do you know? What do you know? If I know nothing, you might as well be dead. Maybe you're catching my drift. So that it is what it is. You came to the wrong channel to talk shit, son. For free. Shit, Jack. The word is out, brother. That's right. For free. Just, that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? If we want to be here, I think that we need to separate the wheat from the chaff. We need to utilize our skills in discernment and say, if you don't want to be with us, and with us, I mean, if you don't want to be with us in this society, then get the fuck out. Okay. I don't need you here. No one needs you here. We can split this up however we want to, but you're not staying. You're not staying. If you say fuck America, fuck capitalism, fuck white people, fuck all that, and you can't get along with us, you're out. The day is going to come for that. The day is going to come when you will be jackbooted out of your homes by rifle point, and you will be taken out into the streets, and you will be summarily executed. That will happen. Mark my words. Write them down. Do whatever you have to do. Oh, of course. No, the future is not socialism, Kundalini. These things, what happens is it's a wave. Okay. Just think of it as a wave. And at the top of the wave, you have, okay, I would have capitalism, let's just say. We're making a chart. And at the bottom, you would have socialism. And then in the middle, you would have just an even, okay. So what happens through the years is that you get a love for capitalism, and then the filthy tribe in small hats and their minions take and do capitalism under with their globalism and their crazy bullshit and everything. All right. And then if you get socialism, then, and everybody says, oh, we got to have socialism. People like you that are morons will say, well, we have to have socialism. Everything has to be given to me, gives me. And you think it's free, but it's not. It's on the backs of people like me. And my back is getting tired. But what I'm saying is then socialism causes people to kill each other in millions by the millions and have wars under. You need to learn your history and understand what happened in Russia and what happened in Europe. And please understand why we talk the way we do. It's not because we absolutely hate you. It's just that you need to, you and your ilk, people that think like you, Antifa, BLM, all those, you're in the way of real people making real decisions for our future and the future of our children. You are in our way. Whenever I have to talk to you about all your stupid shit and Emmett Till and all that other shit and Rodney King and Egypt pyramids and all that bullshit, we're not talking to my people right now about us getting together and doing what we know needs to be done. So at some point, we're going to cut it. We're going to cut the cord. Gibbs me. But see, he doesn't know. He doesn't know what Jack wants. He's listening to a man that he can't comprehend. That's why he's asking stupid questions, and that's why he's making stupid comments. He doesn't understand. Okay? He doesn't know. And you guys do, and it's unfair to him. But in the same note, it is perfectly fair, because the abundance of the heart the mouth speaketh. And if you're a moron, then it'll come out. It'll come out. And I'm not saying that I haven't said dumb shit. I have. But you guys quickly call me on anything that I do say, and then I feel better. And I know you do too. But I'm not sitting here saying that this craziness, man. I don't understand. I just want for us to have a country we can live in, and I can raise my children in, and that they can raise their children in, and that we can. I won't be thought of as a colonizer. And I didn't colonize a fucking thing. Okay, I was born in 1974 in Terre Haute, Indiana. I've worked all of my life for a better life. I've made children. I've gotten along with everybody that I could possibly get along with, and been a good man my entire life. And tell me, what part of colonizer do I have to pay for? What reparations do I need to give to you? I don't. There are no reparations for you. You are speaking your reparations, and you're eating them whenever you eat your Hot Pockets, and you go out and you get in your car and you get your iPhone out and you look at it and you scroll through and you see the white girl. Oh, that white girl ugly. I'm not fucking her. That's your reparations. Enjoy. Coming to me with your hand out, buddy, and I'll cut it off. I told you this is a different stream than Reg's stream. You came to the right place. But whenever you go back to Reg's stream, and I'm sure you will, please save all your bullshit for this stream, okay? Don't do that to Reg. He's trying to get out information that's pertinent. Gives me that. 74, that's 46. I'm 46. I'll be 47 in March, on March 12th. I was born March 12th, 1974. You can do the math on that. It makes me, in numerological terms, something very important. Yeah, it wouldn't be a problem. Listen, guys, there has to be somebody, okay? And that's why I started making videos and came out in public. There has to be somebody. White people and people in general need a leader. They don't need a white leader. They just need a leader, a real one. And I never thought, I've always been a leader. Just right out front and doing it. But I always say, hey, I would rather be in the rear with the gear. That's what would be better for me. rear with a gear. But nobody ever wants that. They put the gear in my hand and say, go to the front. We need you in the front and we need you in the rear. We need you everywhere. And so I've learned how to be that, and I've learned how to do that, and juggle things up in the air, everything at once. Unfortunately, we need people like this. And I hate that because I feel like we've seen that trope so many times. The guy who didn't want to get involved in being a leader, the guy who didn't want to really step up because he knew what it really meant. He knew. No, it's not on white women, man. What are you doing? What is on black women then? Listen, man. That's insane, okay? That's insane. I know so many white women that detest black guys. I know so many black women that detest white men. I know people who want to stay with their own kind, okay? Just because you can't get enough white pussy, bro, doesn't mean, and there'll always be whores for people like you, okay? As long as you spending welfare money on them, all right, and your ill-gotten gains on them, they're gonna fuck you, you idiot. You idiot. It's called gold bricking. God, man, you think you're so smart and you think this stuff's so new. You must be young because you think everything's brand new and I remember when I was a little kid and I heard Pink Floyd from my uncles. And it was in the 70s. These were new albums that were coming out. Okay. And we were listening to it in the basement in Terre Haute, Indiana. And on a jukebox playing pool and with iridescent lights and crazy black lights and shit. I remember that. All right. And then I remember working for my dad. And there was this guy, he was like 21 or 22. And I was about 14 or 15. And he heard Pink Floyd on the radio. And he's like, this is badass. And he went and he got the CDs and he got the T-shirts and he became a Pink Floyd fan. He found it and he thought it was new, and it was to him. And he listened to it in his car, and it gave him hope, and it made him think of different things, and it was new. Look at the new that you got, man. Look at the new that you have. Your new mud dick. Mud dick. Is that what we're going to talk about here? God, man. Classy, bro. Yeah. It's all new to you. You're brand new. And like I said, you could be 30 with that mentality of a 10 to 12-year-old. And it's very evident because only a 10 to 12-year-old boy would think that I'm going to give me some white pussy. That sounds like some a young black man would say. Very young, teen, early teen. I'm going to do that. I'm going to get that. That is ridiculous, bro. How about I'm going to get me a job? No, everybody's racist in this chat to Kundalini. I'm trying to do different word, but it doesn't work. Kundalini is how it's supposed to be said. It would be disrespectful to say it any other way. Kundalini. It is priceless. It's unbelievable that we have to go through these things with people. It's like a regression. If you always have to, okay, when dealing with children at a daycare center or, in a preschool, when dealing with children, repetition is the most important thing in their lives. Repetition and cycles, something that they can depend on, something that they can hear every day or every hour, or something that they can rely on to know that it's going to be all right from minute to minute when they're away from their parents, when they're away from their homes, okay? And that in turn gets us out into the world with other people. That's how they do it, all right? Church is designed to do this. School is designed to do this. Anything that gets you away from your parents is designed to do this. All right. Now, Kundalini, Kang. Sorry, I would never call you a king. You're no king, and you never were. None of your people were kings, and none of your ancestors were either. Sorry. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. You're not a king. You are Kang. Okay. Pathetic Kang. That's right, or you got it. Yeah, you leave that city and you go out to those one stoplight towns and one T in the road towns with 300 people, and you speak that BLM bullshit to those people, and you walk up to the doors and say, "Do you have? I know your daughter's a whore. You got a white girl, a 20-year-old white woman living here, because she got to be a whore. They spread their legs for everything. You go there and you do that. You come here to Arkansas and you do that and see what happens, Kundalini King." Finish it off. I'm not a white nationalist, bro. People always put these names on me. I'm Jack. I love my people, okay? It doesn't mean I hate everyone else. It just means I love my own, okay? And I'm always thinking of them and I'm always looking out for them and I'm always caring for them first. But that doesn't mean that I didn't. When the Hurricane Katrina hoax happened, and I knew there were people down in Louisiana and down in Mississippi, not just there, but ever places where people got displaced and that horrible event that was, made up. Personally, that's what I believe. But it happened, all right? Storms happened. The levees broke. Shit happened, all right? I did. We went, me and my wife, and I had a surgery, and I had lost a lot of weight, and the clothes that I had were nice, very nice, beautiful, very beautiful clothes. And I remember putting $100 bills in Jordans and putting them back in the boxes, and putting $50 bills in the pants in the fifth pocket of Levi's, and putting polo shirts and big North Face jackets, okay, into trash bags and taking them to the church that I knew that was going to deliver that shit down to those victims down there. And I always thought to myself, man, it'd be cool if somebody that lost everything, opened up that thing and they were given this stuff and there was a brand new pair of Jordans. And once they took the insert out, there was $100 bill in there. Wouldn't that have been cool? Now, was I thinking, hey, I hope a white man finds this? Or was I thinking, I don't give a fuck who finds it? Just whoever gets it is going to have a good day because I know their life has been shit recently. All right? So don't come at me with your bullshit, kid, because you were sucking your mama's tits whenever I was doing that shit. Have some fucking respect. I always tell people, man, they don't have any idea what I've done. They have no idea what I have accomplished in my lifetime. I could die right now and it's okay. It would be fine. I've done it. I did it. I changed things. I did. I made sure that things were changed in my time. And that was just step one. I'm going to do way more than that, barring any kind of accident. And believe me, I am not suicidal, and I don't want to die. And our gas mains are fine around here. That's how they get you. Have you ever seen a report that'll come on the news? We're going to switch gears here. I got to switch gears. I can't take any more Kundalini King. So if you want to ban him, do. If you don't, you don't. It doesn't matter to me. I'm going to switch gears and tell a few stories. All right. You hear a story about a guy. A neighborhood. And what happens is the whole neighborhood gets blown up because a gas main exploded. 130 people are killed in the gas main explosion. And then the person that's right at the heart of the gas main explosion, if you look into it just a little further, they aren't writing books anymore. And they're not on the net no more. It's just a coincidence that their whole, neighborhood blew up from a gas explosion or a plane crash or, these things happen, guys. So Jack doesn't expect any of that, but shit happens. And as we build this up and as we go forward with everything and it bolsters me and I bolster you guys in return, then it'll only just get bigger and bigger and bigger. Not me, but the voice of reason that we're trying to awaken here. That's what it all is about. We need 1 million Jack Torrances running around that aren't going to take no shit anymore. If we had that, this country would change in a New York second. Kundalinis would be hung up by their ankles for all to see. Because he's wrong. No, I don't. But I had said that I wanted to get more, Mary, I said I wanted to get more personal in my channel. It's time now. Guys that have been with me for a while have been hearing a lot of the same stuff over and over again in different ways, and it's had its impact on your minds, and that's what I wanted, because I wanted you to get to the levels that I was at, because I got to the levels you were at. I saw, and I wanted to explain myself in that one way, that we need to take it further. We need to take it step 2. I'll hang you up by your ankles. I didn't say neck. We'll make you the hanging man, hang you upside down, and you will be tormented. And you know, this is the kind of thing that happens to people of your ilk. Whenever we've had enough, that's what happens. I'm not talking about just lynching, okay? Because look who's getting lynched nowadays. Not those 9 unarmed black men that died last year at the hands of the police, okay? And certainly not the paltry 60,000 whites that attacked blacks last year, whenever over 800,000 blacks attacks whites, all right? In some form or fashion, all right? So you are not going to sit here and tell me that you are under any kind of attack, because you're not. But you will soon be if you keep it up. Okay. You think that writing these things down and saying the things that you want to say in comment sections and on social media, you think that we're going to forget that. You think that we're going to just let that go. You know, you brought up, you could have brought up O.J. Simpson and the end zone dance that happened after he was found guilty of killing the 2 whites. Now, I think that was a hoax too, and a psyop, a racial psyop. You know, you people bought the racial, you, Kundalini King, bought the racial psyops. So there you have it. Roostered for 300 seconds on Kundalini King. Well, it had to happen sometime. I did it. I did it on Reg's channel last night. I got him 2 times for 300, but he's a man. He doesn't go away easily. He'll come back. Yeah, he'll come back. There's no doubt about it, man. He likes this. He likes to be the center of attention. Don't you see that these blacks, this is the most attention they've gotten in years, and they love it. They love to put on those sequined outfits like Michael Jackson and all that shit. They love that shit. And have they learn that from the crystal, you go to a roller rink, right? And they have in the middle of the floor, and they bring it out for certain things, obviously, the disco ball, and they shine the lights on it. Well, whenever black people put sequins on and then the spotlight's on them and everybody gets to see them, they glowing. It's all about them. Well, that is what we're seeing now, is the sequins and the disco ball effect. 2020 is the year. It started with Kobe, and there's a reason why. Okay, to get the honest on the black man, to get the premise on the black man from the start in January. And then all this year, we've had the premise on, from Ahmaud Arbery to George Floyd to just all the God. Oh my God, the countless names and the countless victims. Oh, Jesus. It's just unbelievable, guys. And we're getting worn out with all this racial bullshit, because there's going to be a shift. They know that we won't put up with it forever. And there's going to be a shift. And they're going to start blaming the homos. And they're going to start blaming the trannies. And they're going to start blaming the wiggers and the antifas and the riggers. And you get it? Everybody in this country that's good is going to start blaming. Okay? The blame game will be on. And then they'll use that. They, I know you hate that, but you know damn well who they are. All right? They will use that. They have this has all been written out. The quantum computing, this is all going according to plan. The algorithm is detected all this, and it's making its corrections. It's going to happen. This is all predestined. We're going to blame everybody, and we're going to start fighting them. We're going to start killing them. And if they're going to say, under the guise of, If you want your new world, then you're going to have to go out and make it for yourself. And you're going to have to help us. Or you're going to have to let these troops come in and take these people out, or take these people out. I've read the white papers. I know what their plans are. We will be sweeping up eyeballs from drone strikes in major cities. It is what it is. It says in the Bible that the Gentile will always rebuild. That's what they use us for, to build everything and to take all the blame from the top and the bottom. They use a caste system, and they put us in a certain caste. And we all live inside of it thinking that this world that we live in is something that we built, and something that we built for ourselves. And it was when it was started out. But it was always meant to be taken over and used for something else. And that's exactly what we're seeing now, the takeover. They built it up and they tore it down. And people like Kundalini King and his people like that believe that way, they come into this world thinking that the world owes them something, because they came into a world 20, 30 years ago that was different than it is now. You know, I have a lot of thoughts, guys. But I know that we can do something about it. I know that we can. I think that just by speaking it and praying about it, whatever you do, you know, I've asked God, say, universe, God, whatever, Jesus, hey, I believe. Would you please help us? You know, he was on the cross and asked God why he was forsaken. I'm asking God. I'm not. I'm asking God, though, if he would help us. I don't believe he would ever forsake us. I still have wind in my lungs. I still have electricity going up and down my spine. I can still see. I can still feel and touch. Okay? And I can still talk to you. So it's not over yet, man. We haven't been forsaken. We're not at the end of it. We're not sitting there at that cross at noontime, on the Golgotha with our hands nailed. We're not sitting there with our feet nailed. All right? It's just the story of Christ. It's what I was raised on. It's just unbelievable. I'd follow you off a cliff too, brother. Yes. Now we're getting into it. 500,000 shipped to hospital. See, I use incessant and I use reg, obviously. And now I'm starting to use bleak, because bleak is on a whole nother level with what, and all of you guys are different levels. Okay. Different levels, the same good level of I don't know what it is. It's just, I guess you guys found me and I found you and we found each other, and it was right. The vibrational pitch and the way that we were right. And I get certain things that I need from all of you, every one of you. Rooster, I get them from him and his just awesome, just solid person. And I know he is. And he's made the right comments at the right time for me when he felt that there was something wrong with me, and he knew, and he backed me and he bolstered me. Those are the kind of people that I'm around. I got food poisoning Thursday. Still feel like shit. See, that's what happened to me. I think I got food poisoning the other week. I was feeling like that. Yeah, everything is fear porn. It's all not real. It's just like Bill Hicks said. He goes, you go turn on the news and it's like just war, famine, death, AIDS, SARS, COVID, war, famine, death, AIDS, whatever, right? And you look outside and it's crickets. It's crickets. I remember, I don't know if I have told this story before, but I remember I went to San Diego and I told my wife, we had just moved there, and I had told her, I said, come outside with me. And she did. And our babies were young. I'm looking at a picture right now, and that's how old they were. And I said, come outside. It was our first day, and she had driven on the freeway there in San Diego. And that's a hell of a thing for an Indiana girl from Terre Haute to drive on one of them super freeways, And, but she did, to her credit, with our children. And, we had a couple of vehicles caravan in there and all of our stuff, our little stuff. We were young. But I said, now you've watched these movies all your life and you've heard that Cali's crazy and all this, San Diego. It's just, I said, what do you hear? She's like, I don't hear nothing. And it was 7 o'clock at night and the sun was down and it was really beautiful outside. And there was right in the middle of San Diego, and it was just silence. Not in downtown, obviously, but it was in Chula Vista. And I said, "Do you see how this is how it is? There's no guns ablazing there." Now that was a long time ago, and I'm sure if you went back to that same place, there may very well be guns ablazing now. But I'm just telling you that it's not all bad, guys. I live in this country too, and I see people that have been black pilled to such a degree. All of us are black pilled. I'm not saying that we're not. I'm just saying to such a degree that they have no hope in anything anymore. And I still have hope that right-minded and like-minded individuals will get it together and get themselves together and make a way for us to get through this, to get through what they haven't planned, their great work that they've been working on all their lives, and all generationally they've been working on it. While Kundalini was trying to fuck white girls, and why I was toiling away at work and just working and paying my bills and paying my taxes, and you guys too. And while everybody else was loading their shotgun shells and losing them on fishing accidents, and guys, we can do it. I'm not that black pilled that I don't believe there's not hope for me and my people. I still believe it. I'm just a hopeless when it comes to the optimism for my kind. I know what stock we are, and I know what we're made of. I'm not the descendant of somebody that got conquered in battle. My people won. I won. We won. And we're going to continue to do so. And if you don't like it, go somewhere else. And you win with those people. You have the courage of your convictions, and you go fight with other people. And you come and you face me in the streets. You face me. And we'll see. We'll see if you're the man that you say you are. I hate to be preachy. I hate it. I hate it. But it's time for somebody to say that we got to pull it together. We got to pull our shit together and get our act together. It's happening. It's happening. The quickening, there's a quickening happening. Your pulse goes up. The hair on the back of your neck will stand up, and you'll feel it. And that is the Holy Spirit. That's what I think it is. It may be something else for you, but whatever it is, that quickening that happens in your heart, and you feel it, that's happening to me. And it's happening to others. And I just want it to last. I want it to last. I want us all to feel it. And I know that the very highly acute of us starts feeling it now, and we've been feeling it, and they try to destroy that with their signals and their bad news, and their just forever, just on an endless news cycle of hate and kundalinis and people like that, okay? Just over and over and over, and black-pilled people in the comments section telling you that you're an idiot, and that you're a hopeless optimistic person and a hopeless romantic, and things of that nature. Whenever you try to give someone and say, "Hey man, it's not that bad that you can't, go out and enjoy the sun and look up at the sun and get charged off that. You can still do that. Do that while you can." I don't know. Liberty is the whore. Well, she sets on the waters, and she sets on the spiked crowns. She holds a crown, and she looks like a tranny. And she was a gift from the French Freemasons. What do you think she represents? Why do you think they built these Roman-style structures all around the world? So they can tear them down, and whenever they make their little stories come true, and they utilize the Bible for what it truly was for, which is to spread Christ and to also spread the apocalypse, spread the end. Okay? It has to happen. They sold it to us. They knew that these cycles happen and that the earth spits it out anyway. And they put a price, before any of us knew what it was, they gave us a book, and they gave us a preacher and a priest and a go-between between you and God, which you don't need. Ask him and you will receive. And they sold it to us. Just think of it like Jurassic Park. Before you even knew what you had, you stamped it on a lunch bag and a lunchbox, and you sold it to us. But it's going to bite you in the ass. But some of us have woken up and realized, hey, man, these apocalyptic things happen all the time. They're just putting the story on the people and ringing it however they want to. People buy it in every way they could. Good men that I know, that I trust and believe in, think differently than me. And they really do. And they don't think like I do. But in the end, they will. They will see that I'm right. Not that they're wrong, but that I'm right. I didn't say they were wrong. I said they believe differently than me because I have very few beliefs. I don't believe the lie. Ever thought about putting all that energy into an alternate business network for our people, food, supplies, etc.? More, yeah, right. Dramatic oratories, right. You know what? You wouldn't know me if I didn't do dramatic oratories on the backdrop of everything that happened. Okay, so let's not. I know that it feels good to talk and to have really fun ways of speech patterns and to get over on somebody in the comments section, but you'll get your ass put out of here so fast if you're a dick to me, because I'm not a dick to you, man. I am putting my energy towards that. Why do you think I'm talking to you right now, man? You think I'd be wasting my time? No, this is the start. We had to build up a base of people that we could believe in. We had to build up an ideology that says that all we do is love our people and we will fight for that. Okay? If you got any good ideas, then fucking do something about it. No, that's your eloquent bullshit, buddy. You're the one that's putting these words in our chat. Okay? Something has to be done. You obviously don't know what to do. Nukes are fake. It's just unbelievable. I love it that we have people like that in here, though, because it puts things into perspective. Whenever a guy like No You comes in, and he hasn't heard any of my videos, I've never seen him before. He's a sock puppet account. Just a bullshit, right? Whatever. I'm sure he is a sock puppet account. If he has 6 subscribers, I'd be surprised. Here's the thing, and no content. And if it is, it's somebody else's. But you want to come on here and you want to talk shit about me and our eloquent speeches. These are not eloquent speeches. I'm not trying to be eloquent. I'm trying to be as clear as I can. But you haven't listened to it. You didn't know, man. It's more than just eloquent words and talk. It's a proof. It's a showing that there are people out there that still believe like this. Man, if you can't understand that, bye, bitch. I don't need you here. Like-minded individuals. And if you can do it, please do. I will watch you, brother. I will watch you. If you go on live after I'm live here, and I will watch your entire stream. If it's 5 hours long, I'll watch it. And I'll listen to the words you say. And I won't make snide comments in your live chat, bro. I wouldn't do that to you. The time for that shit is past. Watch my older videos where I tell us that, hey, man, let's start building each other up. Let's start thinking about maybe unification of our races and of the white race, of the different sects and the different people. Idiot. You know nothing too. Now come with some real shit or get banned by me personally and you will never be back. Now, Common Core. That's good. Common Core. Good that you brought that up, No You. Common Core, my sister-in-law showed me, both my sister-in-laws showed me some Common Core math. And I look into the simple common, like 13 plus 23 equals whatever, okay? And it had the answer and it said, how did you get to this? And it showed Common Core, how you would get to this. And I was lost. I tried to use gematria. I tried to use numerology. I tried to any way I could to see what they were getting at with all that. And I couldn't. And I was like, well, they're just trying to befuddle the children so that they just give up. That learning is useless to them. Because as we can see, it's taken its toll on a lot of inner city kids and children that have, learning disabilities is what they call them. But back in my day, we just said these kids just need to, they have ants in their pants. We need to sit them down. We need to do something about them or put them in special ed classes. Nowadays, they don't want to teach anything, the mathematics especially, because it's the only truth. Oh, anyway, there's another rant for you. Know you, I go on rants. Know you, I go, listen, if you don't know, now you know, okay? If you don't like it, goodbye. So anyway, let's see. I'm 1,500 miles away in the world. No mask here. Hey, I'm right here in the center of the country, and most people don't wear the mask. Come on, man. Don't look at the internet and get it all blown out of proportion because some Karen makes a video, man, just trying to get clicks. All right. People aren't wearing the masks. Everybody's seeing the hoax. It's because of eloquent speeches like this that people get to realize it, because you guys will be emboldened by it and you'll say, fuck yeah, we're not going to do it. And other people will too. And we'll quit them. We'll quit them. Eloquent. Get the hell out of here. That's something I've never been accused of. No, you is eloquence. Thank you for saying that, man. I'm going to go get another water. You can look at that piece of art from 1976 by a guy named Ralph Irwin. He's dead now, but he's a local artist and gained some notoriety, pretty famous around these parts. And I loved him. He was a good friend. And I had the opportunity to get some of his art, and I have it. So take a look at that. Let me just run in here and get a water. Hey, Mom, where'd you put the water? I know we had some over there. Anyway, it's my cat Petey back there. You can see him. He was born in a metal shop. And he never did want to go outside. And the reason I got him, believe me, I didn't want another cat. I didn't want a cat because we had just lost a cat. We lived on a street that was pretty busy there for a while. And we had a 10-year-old cat that went outside and got hit by a car. And it hurt my wife very deeply. She loved that cat. She was there when it was born. It was born of another cat that my mother owned. And so it was a family cat. So I was working for this guy, and this cat had a litter of cats inside the shop and in a filing cabinet. And I took it home after a few weeks because he never would go outside. He would sit there at the bay doors of the shop, the big old huge bay doors, and he would never go outside. He wouldn't. And I thought, but he was a good little kitty, and he would always like to run up to people, and he wasn't scared of people like all the other skittish cats. And so I was like, this might be the one. And I took him home, and he's been in love with my wife for the last couple of years. So I didn't know if it was going to work out, but it did. Thank God. And he doesn't want to go outside. He doesn't want to get away. Yeah, I love cats and dogs. Now, when I was a little kid, I remember, and I still have a few scars from it. I was about 2 years old, maybe not even. I think I was 1 year old. And I remember, like I have told you guys in the past, when I was 3-4 months old. So I remember this. And I woke up and it was early in the morning. And I know it was because nobody in the house was awake yet. This is in Indiana. And it was a 3-story house, 826 3rd Avenue in Terre Haute, Indiana. The house is gone now. The lot's still there. Corner lot. Anyway, we had this evil white cat. And I'll never forget that he was white because I was standing at the top of the steps looking down on the second floor there, looking down towards the front door of the house, with all the stained glass on the sides of it and all that. And this cat came from the side, attacked me, and he eviscerated me, man. He was slicing me up, just and all this shit. And I was a baby, man. I remember because I was still in a diaper. And I remember taking the cat by the head and slinging his ass down the steps. That was all I could do. I mean, I didn't know how to fight. I was a baby. But I remember looking down on myself and seeing red everywhere, blood, my own blood. And I went into the room with my mom and I woke up and her screaming is the last thing I remember, of that. So cats, my wife had to make me like cats again. So I did, over the last 20 years, we've had a cat, a couple of cats. We had one named Obama. I'll tell you a story, guys. Lighten it up. We had a cat named Obama. I named him Obama. He was a black cat, and it was during the Obama administration. He had just been hired as the president, or selected, I guess. And anyway, my daughter was about 14 or 15 years old at the time. And we were living in this pretty nice little neighborhood there. We knew some people, and they rented us a beautiful home, and it was crazy. It was a lot of fun. And she was standing in the backyard, and she was out there looking for Obama, and she was going, Obama, Obama. And I knew this because this lady came up to us next from the next door, and she said, is your daughter, is she okay? I mean, is she okay? Because she was, and we're like, yeah, she's fine, we think. I mean, what's the problem? And she's like, well, she was out back screaming for Obama. She wanted Obama, and she was adamant that he come home. And, she's like, and I was like, it's the cat, So Obama, the cat. Poor lady thought my little girl was out there looking for Obama. Like she was asking for Barack Obama to come, please, Barack. I thought that was funny. I have a weird sin. Yeah, he was a black cat, and a cat named Obama. That's right. We named him Obama. I have a strange sense of humor. I don't laugh at things that other people laugh at. I find it irritating. And then stuff that people find irritating, I think is funny as hell. Ordinarily, when it comes to humor. Now, when it comes to trolling, no. You got to be, no. I don't find humor in that. On these personal things where you've got 20, 30 people in here, or 10 people, whatever, right? On something like that, I want it to be respectful, and we are like each other, and I can read stuff in the comments and talk to you guys, That's what I want. I don't want to get in fights with No You, and I don't want to get in fights with Kundalini, and I don't want to, I've been in so many fights in my life. I don't want to be in any more. The next fights need to be the ones where we are staring down, through a scope, staring through some sights, through some optics. What was it about your sons, Mary? I was ranting. Did Obama the cat lie around all day too? No, he was a go-getter. That cat, he liked to be out all the time and do stuff. That's why I think he lost his life. Black cats don't have a good life normally because people are so scared of black cats for some reason. I've driven with people that if a black cat goes across them, they will back up. And of course, he was evil. Oh my God. So anyway, you back up and drive out somewhere else. They will not go. The black cat cross their paths. They won't. I'm like, come on, dude. Oh, I'm not that, ridiculous with my shit. Yeah, I know Obama was evil, man. Not on a Sunday. That's right, Fish. Man, dude, I don't know why you don't have I like you. You've made good comments, and you were on Reg's stream, and you didn't blow that shit up. So of course, and Gnostic Christian, of course. That's a kick-ass name, Gnostic Christian. I love it. So there you go. I'm sorry, guys. And this is a little different. We're going to start doing stuff different. I want to get people. I want to get guests. I want to learn how to do that and set it all up to where we can have people to talk to, and we can get different views across, and maybe open up some things, and like No You was talking about, in his own way, he was right. In his own stupid way, he was right. He could have just said, hey man, there's a many different ways to go about it, and he went about it wrong, thus the banning. But whatever, you can do that. I don't care. Whatever you guys do in there is what you do. Who is idolizing the media, brother? Obama? Yeah, you're right. He was the vice president too. You know, and that's what it is. You know, it's like they're right to ask, even though I think political theater, it's all a bunch of bullshit, right? This is the story that they've got for us. This is the political theater that we get to watch. And if this guy has been in government for 40 plus years or whatever, right? Biden, you would think that he would have something to fall back on besides his, you know, he wrote the crime bill that called the super black predators and all that shit that a lot of blacks think is the most racist shit in the world that happened in the 90s in the Clintons. You see, he has nothing to fall back on. Even in his 8 years with the president, Obama, he didn't have anything that he could fall back on to make more than 5 or 6 people show up to his rallies. You know, I mean, where are the hundred thousands of people and all that, like Obama and Trump were getting? You know, love him or hate him, Trump, love him or hate him, Obama. They had people that followed them. That bought into this shit. Okay, nobody bought into the Biden thing, and the guy gets 80 million votes. I didn't say he was racist, man. What are we talking about? I didn't never say Trump was racist. Jesus Christ. Unbelievable, man. You misheard me. I don't think he's a racist. Listen, I think he thinks of us all as scum. Okay? I don't know that he wants to help us. I don't know. You know, I have heard stories about Donald Trump. Now, I lived in Indiana, and there were stories about him where he helped people way before he was ever on TV. Stories I heard about him in the 90s, that he bought farms for people, that he had, hey, I'm telling you, I've heard good things about him. I'm not, and I never did say he was a racist, bro. I don't know where you're coming out with that. Damn. Don't make any claims against me. I thought we had already discussed this. If I see anybody making any claims against me in this live chat, you're gone. Okay? Now, if you say that I made a mistake or a snafu, that's fine, because I do that. But you make claims against me saying that I said someone is racist when I didn't, you're out. I'm not in the mood. So anyway, that's the way it is. And we want to get all these people out of here anyway. Not the ones that are in here now. We've lost about 10 people, and we lost a bunch of punks. And I'm glad. We don't need them here. I want to get it down to the people that I've been liking, the ones that I'm always trusted. I'm tribal. Obama did use racial tensions to advance his agenda. It doesn't make him a racist, though. I mean, that word gets thrown around a lot, you know. Racist. I'm so sorry to hear that. I unfortunately did the same thing, and my 20-year-old son has high functioning autism. See, you know, and we do. All the families have the autism in their families now, and it's because of all these, you know, getting 70 inoculations to go to school, and to, you know, they give us the reasons, and they're going to give us these reasons now for this vaccination. You know, this COVID hoax. Racist doesn't even have any meaning anymore. It really doesn't, does it? Yeah, racist is a bullshit word. Like I said before, I use that term whenever, you know, describing the Marxist ideologies, because that's where it came from. You know, they use it. Oh man, it's just so crazy. I'm sitting here thinking, you know, one good thing about reading the chat is it makes you think. But like I said, I'm not too good at that. Reading the chat and trying to think and no. You know, because I always want to go off on tangents, like I always say. It's up by more than 2,400% now, Stick, if you look at the right numbers, all right? And it's just off the charts now. And why? Because, you know, they want to inoculate the goyim with their serums, just like you would your cattle. You know, of course. And so if you can take away measles from people and maybe take away this or that, and you can say, look what we did for this. But I was talking on Regis last night, and I said, wouldn't it be something if we took the ingredients in vaccinations, put them in water form, and put them in shot glasses, all right, just the same amounts, and then gave them to babies, and said, and put them in baby bottles, and said, this is this, this is this, this is this, all the ingredients in. I don't want to talk too much about it and because that's whenever you start getting buffering and you start getting banned, whenever you start going in too clearly on things. I've noticed that. But let's just say we did that and took all the stuff that was in a vaccine and put it in a baby bottle. Do you think the mothers across this country would give their children that? They'd slap you in the face. But because it's by a doctor, because it's in a shot form, because it's mandatory, they do. And now look at our world. It's supposed to be safe. It's supposed to be a medicine, but it's not. A vaccine is not a medicine, okay? And there's so much legalese that they speak, and there's so many words they use that we don't understand. Understand. We're not supposed to understand anything. And that's just, they wrote it exactly how it's supposed to be. And that's what I was talking about on the last live stream. How do we know who and what we can trust when we don't even know if these words that we're saying aren't spells that are used to bring things into this world, and evil spirits and demonic forces and darkness, okay? And I don't know if that's something that's hocus pocus religion type stuff, or if it's some kind of something in the matrix or in the code that I don't understand it either. I'm just telling you that we need to try to work within the system that we're in now. You know, you hear of people saying, and I watch other people's videos, and they always say that if it burns down, they don't care, and this and that. And that's not true. You're not being completely honest there. If it were true, then take your ass out camping forever and never come home. Never come to your home. Never drive in your car. Don't go to work ever again. Okay? If you think that we should just all go to zero, start with yourself. No, I don't want to live in a fucking teepee. And I don't want to live in a mud hut. That's why we do these things. Can we not work within the system and be considered? Why is it that people who want this, you know, I guess it's that you see Western civilization and everybody looks at all the horrible things, because that's what's on the spotlight right now, is just horrible things, colonizers, this, that, the church that screws the children, and it's all the devil beast system. Okay. But it wasn't anything more than people trying to have good things and nice things and build up good. That's how it started. I don't understand why it always amalgamates into something else, and we get blamed for it, for wanting to keep what we built. You know, why is it that I'm supposed to look like a jerk because I want to keep what we built? I don't understand that. I really don't get it. I don't agree with those men that say that they want it to be burned down to zero. I don't agree. Certain aspects for sure need to be burned down to zero. I agree with that. But it's like I said before, let it be us. Let it be the ones that built it that decide whether it gets burned down or not, all right? I don't want somebody else deciding for me, outsiders deciding if my shit gets burned. All right? And you claim to be an African American or a hyphenated American in any way, then you have no say what happens in my country, because you've already alienated yourself from me because you put yourself with that moniker that you are from Africa. Well, then get your fucking ass back to Africa, because here in America, we're going to do things a certain way. Now, do I think we need to? That's why I don't trust all that drain the swamp and all that bullshit and the queue and all that plan and all that, because that sounds like to me some system that some Jew made up to get to just pacify us and to make us stand down. I don't believe it. A real man, a real president would be out there saying, all right, that is it. I am making executive orders when I've talked to my people and I've talked to the good people of this country, and we've had open discussions and he could have utilized these as the tools that they really are, and these computers, and he could have found out what the truth was. But no, he made deals with Israel and Mossad, and they spy on us, and it's just horse shit. You can't trust anything. And you got guys coming on here asking a guy like me, how broken it all is. I don't know, guys. Of course it's horseshit, Pat. Hey, Wind, how you doing, brother? Agenda 21. That's what we're going to be doing. I'm just going to start doing the thing, because the more I start thinking about these things, the more pissed off I get and the worse the live stream is. Whenever I'm at a bad attitude about it, then it's not going to be good. You know what I mean, guys? And we don't need that. We don't need Happy Jack, but we need, all right. The only time that race is accepted in modern dialogue is when it is being used to tear our people down. That word is never helpful to our people. Never. Boy, you're right about that. I agree. Yeah, we won't be allowed to own anything, but the fake elites will own it all. Boy, so true. Someone said, all this earthly land and whites can't have 1 acre. Well, I mean, look, that's what the agenda is, isn't it? They said we'd be happy in our enslavement. You know, and look, people that claim that they want to reset and claim that it's okay if this Western way gets torn down, people that say that, they're lying as they say that on their devices and as they say that in front of cameras and on computers and utilize that and utilize the internet and no, you're lying. Otherwise, you'd be out in a camp somewhere. You'd be out, way out in the middle of nowhere with no electricity, like an Amish person living like a real person, like a real human with your kids and no electricity, completely off the grid. You don't have the courage of your convictions, but you want to call out men who want to try to save what we've made and what we've built. Because why? Because either of them are hard. Both of them are very hard to do. Okay? To save this place from the Dindus and the Jews and all the bad people of this world and cuckold whites, to save this place from them is just as hard as it would be to go out off the grid and cut that lumber, buddy, and fish and hunt, and you do it. And you utilize whatever you can and the medicines that you have there. If your little child gets sick, huh? And you just can't run them to the doctor no more. You can't jump in your car and run down and get a pack of cigarettes. If you want tobacco, you're going to have to grow it. Huh? Preach to me about burning down my fucking civilization. Rich, I can't even read it. Oh my God, dude. They're brainwashed by the TV. You can't talk to people anymore because they don't understand logic. You're right. You know, it's true. It's true. They don't understand logic. I can't make people, that I talk to, real interactions I have with, not on the net, because we've got people here that want to be here. Okay, so but whenever you talk to people on the streets, they don't have a good understanding of anything. If it's not on CNN or if it's not on the television, they don't want to know, and they will argue with you about the stupidest shit. I mean, it's just unbelievable to me. I don't know. I'm sorry. Let me get back to the chat, guys. No. Yeah, I'm glad you guys are in here, man. And we only usually average, 7 or 8 people. We were up to 30, and then I went on that rant, and we lost some people. But I'm glad we did. I don't want those people in here anyway. They can go to hell. And just unsubscribe and never come back. Because, no, they don't understand that what we've been trying to build here is a community of people who that understand what I am trying to say. And why? Because I understand what you guys are trying to say. I read your comments. I watch your videos. I get it that you're wanting to live with family and that you know that there are people that have infiltrated our governments and infiltrated everything that we set up, our police, and they infiltrated. And you know that they did, and it seems like it's too big to break that system, and it seems like it's all going to have to happen the way that it's going to happen, and it's going to be what it's going to be. But that's not true. We can change it. We can change everything around. When you're making an omelet, you're going to have to break some eggs, and that saying is cliche for a reason. It's around for a reason because it's true. Unless you drill a hole in the egg and dump it out, then you're going to have to break it, but you still broke the shell, okay? I don't know, guys. Let's see. Do you know what the word vaccine means? Yeah. Do you? I've explained it in videos. You must be brand new, man. My God. Holocaust. Can't even say your name on here because they'll show me for sure. Saxon Sister's not a mod. She could drop stuff. Man, I'm sorry, guys. And Reg is not. He should be. Sorry, guys. I know it sucks when I do this. You guys want me to talk all the time, but and I can do that. They do believe it, brother. They do believe it. They believed the news. They were groomed. Somebody on the last live stream said, we were groomed, And I'm like, bro, we've all been groomed. You sit down in front of that programming and you get your programming, And, we watch that TV and we still get our programming, don't we? If you watch mainstream YouTube videos, just if you go to the entertainment section, you're getting TV. It's just all it is just that you can click on what you think is an option. You've got options, but there are no options. There's no options. It's all the same entertainment. That's why whenever you click on a video like this and you hear this guy talking this craziness like I talk, that it would seem crazy. It would seem like craziness because surely the words that I'm saying sound insane to somebody who's been raised on a steady diet and never broken free from their chains of mainstream bullshit. And mainstream in every way, mainstream religion, mainstream everything. All of you know. It's hard to talk to all of y'all. It really is, because you really do know. I can tell by what you're saying that you know. So there's no, that's why I can't believe that people would come in here and attack me in any way. It's like having a rabbi in your living room. It sure is, man, doing rituals. And I had said that I hadn't had any Jewish rituals performed on me. I guess that's not true, is it? I've been baptized. I was a little kid. And, I've prayed in churches, but they were Christian churches. And since Jesus called out the Jews and the Jews hung him, the Jews gave it over and had him killed. They didn't take him. They didn't save him, and they could have. It was asked. And they chose, a rapist and a murderer instead. So Jews did this, okay? I wasn't standing there. I didn't do it. But the remnants of the people who did, because Jesus called them out in the synagogues and told them that they were the synagogue of Satan and all that other shit. And if you don't think it matters, goodbye. It does matter. If you don't think that Jesus story matters, and man, it matters. It matters so greatly. They utilize the book. When you see those guys on the street corners, those Hebrew Israelites, and that they don't have to be Hebrew Israelites anymore. Kundalini kings and guys like that, just regular black people will come on here now and hit you with that rhetoric, that Edomite rhetoric and all that. It's working on everybody. It's working. Chew off foreskins. What more do you need to know? I mean, that is the truth, okay? Thanks for saying it. And me and you have discussed that already before, many times. The Holocaust in Germany pales in comparison to the deaths in Stalinist Russia and Mao China. It's uncountable how many millions of people lost their lives due to those. I'm not even going to get in on it because I don't even want it. It's going to make me go insane if we start talking about that. Because I have talked to, when I was young, I tried to go off and do my own thing and not be a metal man for like a little while. And I went and I did everything other than be a metal man. I worked cleaning carpets and doing that. And I had the opportunity once to meet a woman in Terre Haute, Indiana named Eva Core. I went into her house and I knew who she was. She ran the Holocaust Museum there in Terre Haute. And anyway, Hugo the Pork Eater might have heard of her. Any of my Indiana people might know about Eva Core. She was one of a Mingle twin. She claimed that, and she told me the story of it. I talked to her for 3 or 4 hours. Went over there to clean her rugs and her carpets in her home as a serviceman that I always have been. And tribal member or not, I was going to do my job. And I went over there and got to talking to her, and heard a lot about and I got to see her tattoo. I got to see her tattoo. I got to see a Nazi tattoo on a Jew arm, you know, numbers. They were just numbers. And she told me what happened. She also told me that she was a mingle twin, that she was a twin with her sister, and that they did testing on her. And that's the only reason that she got out alive, is because Mingle took a liking to her and her sister. Don't ask me. That was the story I got. All right. Don't judge me. Don't sit there and judge me. I haven't read the chat yet, but don't judge me. I'm just telling you, I'm conveying to you a story. Okay. But I talked to this woman and I know what her take on all that shit was. She told me how the camp was liberated, and she told me everything. All right. And then I talked to my grandparents and people that I know in my family that were in World War II. Okay. And so I get the angle on that. And I've talked to German men and old men, you know, and I got to listen to what they had to say about their armies and what Hitler said and how it all went down according to them. You know, I don't know what embellishments there were. That's why I don't convey the stories, because it's from their point of view, and it'd be filtered through me, and it wouldn't be right. It wouldn't be right. But I have an idea of what I think happened. And everybody who I see with they're 88 and they're 14 and all that, they're right to be thinking the way they are. The Kalergi plan is in action. The replacement of the white man is in action. And he got a Nobel Prize for that work. Kalergi did, for the replacement of the white race. And then you watch on TV, you watch these couples, and you watch the interracial and how they push that just over and over and over and over until that we're all the same, huh? We're all the same color. That's what they want, about 500 million people to be able to service them forever and make them the kings and queens that they believe that they are, the tribe, forever, and have beige people doing it. You know, that's their end game. That's what their dream is, you know. And people who don't question, and people who have been programming and bought the programming, and it's not even a question of programming anymore when you get to the levels that these people are willing to take it. All right. We see, everybody says there's a progression of bullshit that's been happening over the years, right? We can feel the clamp tightening down on us. We know that there's something up. We've felt it all of our lives, and we know when we see it, it's very apparent that there's bullshit happening in the world, and that there are behind the scenes. Don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain. All right, they've been telling us all of our lives. So we know and we realize it, and we see all the hoaxes and psyops they pull on us to make us feel a certain way, and to make us do certain things, and to make us, okay, in the programming that they've given us. We know it, and we're waking up out of it. And so that is why resets happen right there. Oh, shut it down. They know. There you go, guys. It's as simple and as based as that. Shut it down. That's all that it is. I mean, anytime that the goys start knowing, you got to shut it down. Good. I'm a Christian and proud of it too. 100% white Viking blood in my veins. Wow, man. That is great. Transgender propaganda, huh? No, I don't. I was grandfathered in. I had Colin Flaherty podcasts on it's still on iTunes. They took that down, and they took Podbean down, and they took Spotify down. There's no Colin stuff. The story of Jesus. So do you believe the story of Jesus? What, that he was look, man, here's what's the deal. All right. The story of Jesus. Do I believe there was a man that figured out that he was God on earth, and that he tried to tell everybody that they could, well, the story of Jesus. Yeah, I guess I do. Yeah, I do. I believe that man figured it out, and the Jews killed him for it, if that's what you mean. Yeah. Now, there's so much doubt spread and through the translations in the years, but in my heart, I feel like that there's always men that come around that know certain things, but we kill them, we trash them, we don't believe them, we think they're nuts, we marginalize them, and that's what happens, man. But like Jurassic Liar said, the Jews must have thought something of what he was saying because they sure did have him marked on a hill. If you believe the story, I mean, I don't know. Do you believe the story of Jesus? HH? Do you believe it? Because I do. I believe he died for our sins and all that. And there's power in the blood and all that. But I look at it a little bit differently than most people do. Let's see here. I don't believe in superpowers. Yeah, I mean, I personally believe JC exists. I don't believe in superpowers, though. Right? I mean, look, I mean, performing miracles and all that. Now we're getting into some Jewish shit. Okay, some ritualistic. I don't know. It's an allegory. See, now look, okay, because it's hard sometimes to know what people really think. Yeah, an allegory. I think that Jesus probably did figure out that we were being repressed and that they were selling the apocalypse that always happens on Earth as a religious event. And he figured out that there were certain ways, and the people back then were so stupid that, he had to tell them literal stories in order to get his points across. He couldn't, and not only that, he had to tell stories because if he would have told the outright truth and not in allegory form, okay, that he would have been decapitated long before 33 years old or whatever. You got to think that way. You got to think, sure, he had to talk in code, just like some of us have to talk in code now, okay? Joggers and all the stuff we say to stay on this Jewish site, all right? Come on now, guys. And that doesn't mean that, see, Reg thinks that he was an ascended master and they're capable of incredible things. But I believe that God loves me. And I believe, you know what I mean? Like simple children shit. I believe that God would have sent himself in the form of Christ here on this earth. And, a lot of people believe that all men are Christ's. We're all born of God. And the God to us is our Father. Our Father was the God, and we're born of him. And in turn, the Trinity of people, your son and you and your Father. All right. And so people believe that. I've heard every kind of thing you could believe on the, what Jesus was and what the story really meant and the breakdown of it all. I'm still trying to learn, to be honest with you. I've had a lot of different views in my life about what he was and what it all meant. And every time I think I come close to what I would consider a truth, something else comes up. Well, the decline of Christianity. See, I think that it's real easy to ascend for a religion to be pushed on people who have nothing to do, and for long periods of time, and their bread and circus is the church, and that's the thing that they get to do. So with so many distractions, then people fall away from the church. They find what they think they can fill the void in their soul with this useless hollow shit, and they can't. Okay, that's why I lend credence to the Jesus story, and I believe. And I told you I don't have very many beliefs, but I believe that he died for our sins, and that means something to me that it may not mean to most Christians or people who claim to be Christian. I have differing views on that. It's hard to put into words how I truly feel about it. It's something between me and my God. I don't ordinarily talk about it to anyone. It's between me and God. Whenever I lay down at night and nobody's there besides myself and me alone, I'm laying with my wife and I have my animals there and my dog, sure, and my family is in my home and I love them all and they're sleeping. And I'm laying there at 2 o'clock in the morning thinking about things. Do you want me to tell you what I think about that? No, no, no. You don't get to hear. That's between me and God. But I will tell you that I have those thoughts and that I do deeply think on things like that. Being as honest as I can be, brother. That's right. Many ancient texts were written in parable for this reason. That's right. Telling stories. I didn't mean to be flippant about that point. It may have came across that way. Thanks for calling me out on that. I did not mean to be flippant. Sometimes I come across like that. My wife tells me that. She's like, sometimes you dismiss people and it's such a jackassy way of doing it that you lose people when you do that. I'm like, well, you know what? Don't be so fucking thin-skinned, man. The Holy Spirit tells us truth. Here's the thing. Look. The Holy Spirit, all right? I think that's the spirit that is imparted into every one of us is the Holy Spirit. All right? We have it in us. It's what makes us come to life. You ever looked at a dead human being and the light is gone from them? The electricity is gone. There's no glow anymore. They're dead. All right? Well, the Holy Spirit is gone from them. That's it. I think we put all these labels of Jesus and all this craziness on things that are very simple. And I think that it's the energy centers in us and how they live in a world where there are other energy centers and how they live in a world where there can be disruptions made in those energy centers. All right. I think it could be very easy to understand, but we put these crazy stories and allegories and everything. We put that all on ourselves and we miss the point of the whole thing with our dissection and our critical thinking on everything and our looking in and wanting to know just what Jack might think or what HH might think. What do you exactly think, HH? I just have to know, or Jack, or what, right? No, let's not do that. Let's say, hey, man, what's the baseline thing we're trying to learn here? How to live in this world without hurting people and trying to do a good job for everybody around us so that we can all partake. It's not socialism. It's not socialism for Kundalini boy to sit on his ass playing Xbox all day and expect handouts. That's his level of socialism. My level of socialism is that you get your ass up and you go to work and that it's ours because I own it and you own it and you own what you own and I own what I own and I don't ask you for yours and you don't ask me for mine. And we help people that we know would work if they could. Good, honorable men that broke their backs during work and they can't work anymore. That's why these systems were set up in the first place, but they get taken over by lazy kundalinis. People with their hands out. People who come to my country and they tell me, I've had Mexicans and different people tell me this, that had just border hopped. Okay. I could be an American too. And they want to tell me that what I need to be thinking in my own country. And I'm like, hold on, dude. My grandparents stepped off the boat from Ireland here and Scotland and England in the 1800s after slavery, a lot of them. All right. So I'm from this place. I'm a native born American citizen. Okay. You just are fresh off the boat yourself, all right? And your people haven't fought for this yet. I know there's Mexicans that fought in World War II and blacks, and of course. I'm not talking about them, real Americans. You know who you are. I'm talking about people who come over here and tell you that it's time for a change that come from third world shitholes. It's like, no, it's time for you to change. It's time for you to come here and accept what is going on in our country. You keep trying to change it, and the fabric of our society is being torn down because the people are listening. Some weak-minded people are listening to the program, the Jewish rhetoric that's being spewed at 100 miles an hour in everybody's face. See, I don't care. I don't care. We have an ally ourselves with the angel. We have to ally ourselves with the angels of the four directions and the trees in order to survive the upcoming battle. Is the way I see it. Based. Supposed to earn your keep. Nobody owes you nothing. That's right. That's what I was taught. Obviously, Rooster was taught that. And most of you were. But guess what? Kundalini Kang, he wasn't taught that. He wasn't taught that. He was taught to sit back and wait to take that handout. And he will rationalize any way he has to make that handout become something that works for him. You know, oh yeah, you owe me. You know, I've talked about it a million times. I don't want to get back into it. You know, but it's a funny earn your place. That's right. I ate some yesterday. Tree bark. I've got to be assuming because Winwar said we'll be eating that tree bark soon. It never occurs to these third worlders that that what they've been doing hasn't worked, and they're the ones who need to change. That's so true. It's like, dude, hold on. And then, but see, listen, did you see what he did there, guys? Did you see how he said that the reason that they lost everything that they had as far as intelligence and everything, and it was all skeeted out from them, is because the white man came and colonized them. They always have an answer for why they suck, you know. And what Cuckold White's the same way. It's not act like it's not true, you know. I mean, I do talk a lot of shit about black folks and Dindus and whatnot, but you listen, I go in on harder on Cuckold Whites. I expect more out of white people because I'm white. Oh, let's see. Reg believes that if you eat something, it becomes part of you. You know, and he's right. I mean, the old Chinese, what is it, Japanese proverb that you'd watch on the Iron Chef. You guys remember that show, The Iron Chef? It said, "You are what you eat," and you know, and it's true. If you eat scum and shit, then you will eventually become scum and shit. It just doesn't take very long. But you know, you puff up big and you look big and fat and bloated because you're eating hollow calories, and that's what it is. You know. You become what you eat. You become hollow in turn. Hollow man. But if you try to, you know, imbibe yourself with beautiful things and good, not just food, thoughts and words and images and sounds, if you can do that and feelings, you know, we get so caught up, you know, hearing all the bad things that we don't often take time to really enjoy the good things. And that happens to all of us. And these distractions in this year, 2020, have been more than any of us could ever imagine. I mean, we all knew. Guys, a lot of conspiracy jack people in here, conscious, race conscious people know these things too, but that something would be coming down the pipe. We knew through Agenda 21 and Agenda 20 and Agenda 30 that they would be doing these types of things. And we weren't caught completely off guard. We just didn't know exactly what the triggers would be. We had William Cooper telling us that it was going to be viruses. I read in Behold a Pale Horse. I mean, that's a pale horse. Okay. So we knew. It's just unbelievable that I thought that more people knew about the hoax. You know, I thought that more people knew, but I was wrong. Most people don't. They walk around believing everything they hear and see. Anyway, I eat sheep brain. Well, good, brother. Probably good for you. Cholesterol. We talking to a buddy of mine, and we were discussing that cholesterol is not such a bad thing. The brain is made of fat, and that it needs fat. I mean, oh my God. Anyway, I'm not going to get into it. All right, let's see. I'm a mushroom man myself. Yeah, I love mushrooms. I do. They're very good. We used to go out in Indiana and in here too, and everywhere across the United States. But some places are better than other, I've found. Get those morels. get them in the morning, take all that we like, and then go sell them to the restaurants around town. We used to do that when I was young. Even the most nutritious food becomes poison when eaten in fear, boy. And that you've got people watching, you know, crazy shit as they eat in their TV dinners in front of that. You boy, Reg, you can go to another level real quick, brother. I like that. Veganism is the NWO diet. Yeah, that's true. They'll be having our asses eating crickets and shit soon. I mean, they're already trying to do that. No, they don't get to eat meat. No, actually, I didn't really grow up in Indiana. I was born there, and then back out to Cali we went. My mother was very young when I was born, and she wanted to be around her mother and father and family whenever I was born. So back to Arkansas and out to Cali, places like that. But Indiana, we went everywhere. I mean, we had family in all these different spots. And so I was able to see and live in all those different areas. It was really good for me to live that way. Back when I was a little kid and I was apprehensive about going into new classes and seeing new kids and meeting new people every few months sometimes. That sucked. The Hoosiers. Whenever people ask you what a Hoosier is, you know what your answer's supposed to be, don't you? I'm a Hoosier. Okay? You don't ever ask a Hoosier what is a Hoosier. So anyway, yeah. Yeah, those frozen veggies from the technocratic world are devoid of nutrients mostly. That's right. And I've seen how that they're flash frozen and how the nutrients are sucked from them in the plants and with different ways. I've watched it. I've worked in those places before that have done that and in food processing stuff when I was younger. I know. I know what they do inside those places. That's right. Around family. I live in South Bend, Indiana. I'm crazy. Oh, South Bend. You know, anywhere that you've got a thick layer of dindu and corruption and people saying that we need these dindus are so ignorant. Joggers, I'm talking about here. All right, they're going to tell you that we need to defund the police. These city council and board member people are telling us they're going along with it. And the Dindus are like, yeah, defund them because they killed 9 of us last year unarmed. Oh, man. There's 30 million, 40 million black folks in this country. And 9 of you got killed by cops unarmed last year. If that's a fucking crisis, well, then I'm a monkey's uncle, all right? And I got some oceanfront property in Arizona I'd like to sell you because I've said it before, black people, you will believe in magic. And I wasn't just being a jackass when I said that. You believe in magic. Those are magical numbers that could make, the 9 must be a really magical number if it can make people go out in the streets and riot and loot and burn and murder and kill and mayhem on the streets for 9 unarmed black people and George Floyd, a Freemasonic hoax in the middle of the street. Okay. You believe in magic. You watched it on the TV. That's smoke and mirrors. Oh my God. Peru is miles and miles of cornfields. I'm in Virginia, but raised in Kentucky. Crawfordsville here. Yeah, I was a Terre Haute, and I've been pretty much all over Indiana. I say that, there's so much. Indiana's a big state. People don't realize there's a lot of places to go and a lot of things to see. But I don't know. I don't really long to go home to Indiana. Like I call it home. I was born there. I was born in St. Anthony's Hospital in 1974, and so that's my home. It truly is. But I love Arkansas. I like Arkansas. This is where I've lived most of my life, and I love it. It's my place, and My son was born here. My daughter was born, and my wife, we were all born in Terre Haute, but my son was born here. I had him here. That way I could say that I was a transplant, legit transplant. I had a son here. You know, I wanted to have a child here so I could live here. And George Floyd, the landlord, was a porno star. That's right, he was. You know, and the little girl, Bleak, put on I think he did. He put on his video. It said, "Daddy's going to change the world." She was on George's shoulders, and she was only 4 or 5 years old, and George was alive, and she said, "Daddy gonna change the world." So you have the narrative had already been set so much in the circles that they ran in that it was going to be known that George was going to do that act. Okay. And whether he knew he was going to die in it or if he did die in it, it doesn't matter. The act happened and the media spun it and they did it. And BLM and everything else is history, guys. So it worked. Hey, he was a skank. Beverly Hills and Cedar Sinai. My brother was born in Martin Luther King Hospital in Los Angeles, California. You would like Arkansas, brother. This is a good state. Indiana people that have come, my wife lived in Terre Haute, Indiana, all of her life, in Indiana all of her life, and she loves Arkansas with all her heart. So I took I took an Indiana girl and brought her down here to Arkansas. I brought a northern woman to a southern state. You know, you know, people are running away from the liberal shitholes all across this country. And I don't mean politically, I mean liberal people. Okay. People who think socialism is a good thing. And people who think that, we live and let live, let the Dindus, beat you in the head. It's okay. It's not really a problem. All right. As they live in their fucking gated communities and tell you to live amongst, the scum of the earth. But anyway, they go and they're leaving in mass to all of our little towns and cities all across America. And they're going to bring their live and let live liberal ideologies with them. And they're going to destroy this country if we don't do something about it. And, sometimes it seems like what needs to be done is just to go and take out the problem, where you think it lies. But sometimes the problem isn't where you think it lies. Okay. It's in other places. And I think I know where some of these problems truly lie. And I'm going to take them out personally. You don't need very many people to take out the problems whenever you get down to the core base of what they are. Okay. SEAL teams only work in small teams. Why is that? And they can change nation states and they can change countries by themselves. 4 or 5 men tactically doing certain things can change everything, change the history books. Okay. And don't forget that. My mom was born in bauxite. How do you say that? I've you know what? I always Google Earth my shit. And I've seen that and I never have figured out how to pronounce that. I had my daughter at Travis Air Force Base in California. I had a brother that was born at Fort Carson in Colorado Springs. I used to live in Colorado for a few years there. Yes, Bill Clinton is from where I am. He's from Hope, Arkansas, though. That's a few miles down the road from here, but on the same side of the state. I'm not too far from him. I could be in Hope in a few minutes, within an hour or so. That's where Bill was born. Now, his wife was born in New York City. She came here. And I've heard in my lifetime many stories from people that knew them and went to school with them. And elementary school, I had an art teacher, Mrs. There was 2 of them in my school. And her name was Miss Winford, I believe. And it was the funniest thing. She liked me and I liked her. My honors art teacher, I'll never forget her. And she let me draw whatever I wanted to, and I got to meet Bill Clinton because of some art that I did. My brother and I clowned me for that and said I was taken to Epstein Island. But anyway, I wasn't. But anyway, Miss Winford told me a story about Bill Clinton that Bill came and to her house, and whenever he was a young man in high school, and tried to, because they were from Hope, and he tried to, and her dad chased her off the porch with a shotgun. And I didn't want to believe that story when I was young, because he was our governor, and I was like, come on, Miss Winford, come on now, you got to be kidding me, because she was like in her 50s by then, and to me, being 14, 15-year-old kid, I thought, she's an old lady, she's probably my age. And anyway, she brought pictures of herself in from that time period back whenever Bill would have been courting her, and I apologized. She was absolutely beautiful. And, back then, Bill didn't have an affinity for young boys. So he still liked girls. I'm sure he's switch hitter, but he still liked girls. And so I believe that. And she said he was a strange cat, and that had a lustful spirit, and that he had a true privilege. Well, black people and others will tell us that we have white privilege, but when you truly see white privilege, you'll know it. You'll know white privilege when you see it. I see a lot of black people with white privilege. They walk around with that privilege of the people who built it, or the privilege of the people whose daddy built it. Like, say somebody built the railroad or whatever, right? And the sons of those men that didn't do much, or the extended family that just got to live off that because now, it's a billionaire family, right? So of course you get to live off that, and so you have white privilege or whatever. Well, I've seen a lot of black people with white privilege recently. What they call white privilege, they have. Me. I'm always watching something. I was watching Memeology, and they had this black chick on there that screamed that it was racist that she didn't get a PS5 or an Xbox, and Sony and Microsoft sent this black chick, because she asked for it. And she said they were racist if they didn't give it to her, and they caved and gave it to her. I mean, what kind of privilege is that? These victims, quote unquote, can call the shots, man. They're calling the shots. Bauxite is just out a little wrong, right? Is it north or south? I can't remember. I'm not looking at my maps, but I do remember seeing the city. Jack, what do you think USC will be like in a few years? Well, look, I know this for a fact. After all the craziness settles down, new police cars, new government officials come in, and they settle in on your cities, and they try to make the transfer of power as easy as they can for the citizens that are left, after whatever riling up there are, and after the food shortages and the electricity blackouts, and how we cull ourselves and purge ourselves. The ones that are left will see new people, what the Southern people called carpetbaggers. You'll see those all over this country, carpetbaggers. If things go down the way that it's supposed to go down, I don't know. We shoot carpetbaggers where I'm from. So the rich black girl who went to Northwestern because of affirmative action was all about white privilege. Boy, that's what that chick, remember that video that I did, the POCs? And I had said, it was one of my first videos, where are the POCs? And maybe it was part 2 that said this, and that's what triggered me to start making videos. Whenever I saw that little girl in her safe space say she didn't feel safe, and that she didn't feel safe with white people around, and that's what safe spaces were for. That's the genesis of this channel, really. That's what really made me just take out the phone and start filming, because I had had enough. When I saw that, and her speaking in her Valley Girl voice, a black chick, a fat black chick at that, speaking in her Valley Girl voice. Okay, we don't feel safe here. I'm like, oh my God, man. You don't feel safe in that school. You don't feel safe with all those cuckold whites around you, bowing and kowtowing to you and letting you in with that low IQ that you had. You don't feel safe there. I heard your speech. I heard the words you said, and I know that you're an idiot. Okay, I know you're a young girl, black girl. I'm talking to this girl now. I know you were a young black girl, and you're a moron. But you're at a college. You should learn basic English. It's just unbelievable, guys. Sorry about that. It's just I got to thinking about her saying that, and it just yet again it sparks something in me that I can't describe whenever I hear shit like that. You know, from people that we stole, even if the story were true, guys, even if what that Kundalini Kang was saying was true, and we did go into Africa by force and take them from their homes and rape their women right there in the camps, and just as bad as that these books and movies make it out to be, which is all Jewish horseshit. But let's just pretend that it wasn't Jewish horseshit. Well, what we've come to within from 1800s till now, if it's all true, what you're saying is that we can have black people that get to burn down cities and get to do things, and they can do it if they want to. From being lashed across the back and beaten and taken from Africa and stole out of their mud huts to coming over here and living like they do now. Yeah. I mean, if they can't see it because they are it, they can't see what it is because they're living it, and their IQ, a lot of them, is so low that they cannot possibly understand or fathom, why they're in the situation that they're in, and that it is a far better situation than the one that they would have been in. How couldn't it be? If you're on your computer or on your phone, if you're on here telling me about white privilege and white people that need, you don't see all the comments that I see. A lot of them are very racist from black people that I get. Some of them are, and cuckold whites, and they get erased by YouTube. It's not even me erasing a lot of these people and their comments. No, it's not. It's YouTube, because they're so hardcore racist that. But I get to read them because I get emails sent to me so every single comment is read by me. And you wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe the racism that's pointed towards whites for virtually every single thing. And I'm like, guys, you are blaming the white people that had absolutely nothing to do with it. In fact, that is a purely tribal thing that you're pointing out, and how it happened and everything. And don't forget, I'm not white, I'm Jewish. I'm not white, I'm Jewish. That's an anthem for a filthy Jew. Some Illuminati kid that he wanted to make a video, I'm not white, I'm Jewish. And tell everybody, he separate himself from everybody whenever it was cool to not be white anymore. Whenever the Jew was running their game on the whites and making it seem like that the whites were the scum of the earth, and they have been for the past 60 or 70 years, haven't they? And we were the scum of the earth after we built all this shit up and paid for everything off our backs and our labor, everything that you currently see. And so because of that, it was cool to be Jewish then. I'm not white, I'm Jewish. But when it suits me, I'm white. Yeah. Black people don't see that a lot of the times. A lot of them are waking up to it, but a lot of them aren't. And they still want to blame the white man. And it's just unbelievable. It's like, dude, like I've said a million times, we do not get up every day worried about you. We don't get up when I'm thinking, like I've said a million times, to get up out of the bed, I'm not thinking about blacks and how I can hold them down today. So anyway. Yeah. No, man, you really haven't heard me yet. Nobody has. Nobody has. I can't say what I want to say here. If you could only just truly hear me. But, it wouldn't be good enough for people like Dr. No or whatever his fucking name was. It wouldn't be good enough. Because he couldn't draw flies to a pile of horse shit, he wants to come in and talk shit to me. Like that what we're doing here isn't something. Like that we don't bolster each other here and try to figure things out. And that we're not making a difference at all. Really? I think we are. He doesn't know that way of the world watches these videos. He doesn't know that there's things that come out of this. What a fucking idiot. Other people are doing this. I had a black dude list all these bad white people. I showed him they were literally all part of the tribe. Dude, right? It happens all the time. It really does. When you think about it, it really does. Now you got me thinking about it. I love that when that happens. It's true. They want to tell us, and then like Jurassic always says, crypto. Somebody that doesn't appear to be from the tribe at all, right? They appear to be white, but they're cryptos. And then they're the ones that are saying, I'm a proud Zionist. I'm always going to be proud to be a Zionist. We need to run these white folks out of here. Bleak Narratives put it on his channel he put it on there, that clip that we all saw of Joe Biden saying back years ago. Well, hey, in the 90s, it's going to be he said in the 90s, maybe it was a snafu, but whatever. He said, that's going to be the white race, white Europeans will be less than 50% of the country their forefathers built. And that's a good thing. Diversity is our strength. Well, he wasn't lying one bit. Diversity is the strength of a Zionist. Not diversity for them, but diversity for us. That's the strength of a Zionist. So we can have people like Kundalini Kang come in here and disrupt our shit. And people like Dr. No or whatever his name was come in here and disrupt our shit because he was a fucking crypto. I can always smell the cryptos. They have a certain odor. All right, brother. Got to roll out for a few. I'll be back. Everyone not wanting to just lay down and get back should open up a tab. peoplesrights.org and check it out after the stream. Hey, man, if you can drop a link to that if you want to, we can all check it out, brother. I would do it myself, and I do it when on Reg's channel. I drop links. Okay, he's got it. peoplesrights.org. See, Reg is on it. Sorry, I was in the middle of a rant. You know how I am. Can I get a link to the way of the world? Way of the world. He's just a YouTuber and a not just a YouTuber. That guy does a lot. It's disrespectful to say he's a YouTuber, but he's a British guy, and he likes these videos, and he watches every now and again, and he likes to keep up with it because in this way he can find out what white folks in America are kind of thinking. Because I am that guy. I like I say what my people tell me, and I try to understand what I'm being told. And so Way of the World watches those videos, and he gets an understanding for what a broad section of people would, it's the same thing I do whenever I watch you guys' videos that only have 5 subs. Yeah, rice is the savior of most in Asia. Marxist Lucifer Kang. Way of the World. Yeah, anyone can drop the link into that. You'll find Way of the World now. That's a big badass channel. And he makes some great videos. I love his videos. And if you really want to, you can go to my Way of the World video that I made for him on my channel, and there's a link in the description to his video, and then you can watch the video and sub to him, because you're going to want to sub to him. He's a badass dude. Way of the World. There's a bunch of good ones out there, man. Even though he saved more people with his invention in human history, with rice. Boy, we have people talking about how capitalism and this and that, and they forget that the cotton gin is basically what freed slaves. We didn't need them anymore. The cotton gin did the work of all those slaves. Look, you had to have a machine that could do a better job than they were, right? And it would be easy to make a machine that could. Let's be honest. They weren't giving their all to us. They were slaves. Are they giving their all to us now? No. They're giving their all in certain ways, aren't they? But they're not giving any real effort here. They're trying to better themselves on our cards, on our niceness, they need to get the fuck out of here. I'm tired of these useless people in my life. I'm tired of them. Look at what trouble they've caused. I'm playing right into but these tribes don't know that I'm going to get them too. That it's not just the people that we dislike and that are causing all this trouble. We know that you're stirring the pot, man. But here's the deal. Whenever it comes to Dindus, all right, I want y'all to know this. I don't say it's okay for them to rape our women. And I don't say it's okay by the millions over the years. Think of it. It's 100,000, 200,000 a year, all right? And that's just the reported ones of the rapes. Think of 10 years. That's 1 million women. 1 million of our women have been raped by Dindus. Do it for 20 years. Do it for that. That's probably 3 to 5 times that number. Okay? And then do it for all the abuse that the white man takes at the hands of the blacks and the other POCs. And then you start looking over a 20-year span, it's millions and millions and millions and millions of times that it's happened. And we're supposed to sit back and take it. If you don't know what Jack Torrance means, and if you don't know, then you're going to automatically come in here and see this as flowery rhetoric from some white guy that just wants some attention and shit. You're not going to understand that it's not at all what it is. Somebody needs to come out from the woodwork, and somebody needs to do it. And who better than us? We have to do it for ourselves and our children. You know, Colin Flaherty wanted to write that book, and he may be writing it. He's getting old, and he, all the drinking and the smoking is getting to him. I know that. And I think he may be in league with the tribe. I know I might get some hate for that. I don't care. I think he's doing a lot of devil work too. Okay. But he's doing a lot of good work. He's doing a lot of good work. Whenever I hear him say, I could just go play golf with rich people. And he's been in those systems for a long time. He rode those systems that the Jews and the tribe put down for him until the wheels fell off. And then he started on his own thing. He wanted to do his own thing. And he started pointing out these racial disparities in the amount of crime and all that shit that we all know Colin Flaherty does. And so, he grew a conscience. He grew one, finally. He got a black man out of jail for killing a white woman. I mean, I'm sure he needs to pay his penance to his white brothers and sisters, and that's what he's doing. Because he sold us out, and he still does, whenever he will not say that the tribe has a lot to do with what we're seeing. I call him out on Twitter all the time about that, but he never ever responds. I'm just a crazy racist anti-Semite. And as he says that to me, these things go on in his videos and in his podcasts that are a direct result of the programming set forth by the Jews. So he's making money off it. Does he say a lot of great things and things? Does he put it to the forefront so that we know? Yes, he stokes the fire really well. He sure does. It's good. A certain fire needs to be set in the hearts of the white man and woman. And a certain fear needs to be put in the hearts of these people who think that they can run roughshod on us. No, doesn't it? It's true. But, I'm not going to participate in any Jewish bullshit. I'm sorry. And I'm not talking about the guy who's next door who might be Jewish. God, no. The guy who's just like me out there walking his dog every day, driving his car to work. Okay. And he might have some Jewish blood in him. I'm not talking about that. When I say black people and Dindus and joggers and riggers, I'm not talking about the next door neighbor that you might have. That he might not be a bad guy. Of course. I know Damon. He's a black dude. He's a good man. We've had conversations, and he's extremely intelligent, and I enjoy our conversations. It takes me to another place, another realm in my mind. And I do that with other people. You know, I'm talking about the agitators and those types of people. That's who I'm on. That's who I'm on about, as an Englishman would say. What are you on about? What the fuck are you on about? Yeah, well, that's what I'm on about. I'm on about our own people and why it's going down the way that it is. And I've always said I don't want to play the blame game, but there are people that can be fingered for some of the things that we're seeing. I mean, I don't know about you, but I didn't make the rhetoric up. I didn't, I'm not pushing the Jewish rhetoric. We didn't make it up, guys. So, I'm not going to take responsibility for something that I didn't do. If I didn't do nothing, God, look how it can be twisted so easily. Look how it is. If you were a young person, it doesn't even matter what color, and you heard somebody saying that they didn't want to take responsibility for what the tribe did, then you could easily equate that as to, and call me a hypocrite and say, well, you want the blacks to take responsibility for what they did, but here you are blaming the Jews. I'm like, no, it's not exactly the same thing. Okay. Not exactly. And it's getting too late in the night, and we're approaching 3 hours again. And we can save this for another stream, because I said I wanted to get more personal, and that's what this is all about. This is me coming forth with more and more reality of the situation, as we need to do. And Bleak Narratives had said that he wanted to get some people on about the vaccinations that happen to military people. All right. And I know some military guys, and I would like to have them on and for them to talk. And if they can't do it, then I'll talk to them about it and convey what they told me. But because I work with a guy, so, and a bunch of guys, I know a lot of military people and ex-military that had vaccinations, and how that affected them and what that did to them and how that made them feel. Okay. And I think that that'd be something good that we could talk about if we could get a few people on here with us, and we'll figure out how that'll work. So you just don't have to sit and listen to me rant and rave about shit and get mad at these people in my chat for disrespecting and being bitches. Anyway, I'm trying to read the chat. I guess it matters not. I don't even know how many people. It doesn't even matter. I could be talking, as long as that there's one person in here, which there's more than that, then I'll be happy. It doesn't matter to me, because if it only takes one person to make a difference in somebody's life, and then in turn make a difference in somebody's life. It's just, what was it, that the old saying? It wasn't the one particular raindrop that thought he caused the flood. No one raindrop could be blamed for causing the flood. Or no one snowflake could be blamed for causing the avalanche. And that's us. Not just one of us could be blamed for it, but it's going to happen. And I don't see, here you have a guy that'll come in, and I've seen it in other channels too, not just here, everywhere. Everybody gets it. Anyone that'll speak out on behalf of the white race and call out certain aspects of different people in general. All right. If you will stand and you will talk about these kind of things, and people will troll you, they'll fuck with you because they have no understanding, and they're too cowardly to do it themselves. Okay. So the biggest trolls are always the ones that don't have any content, don't have any character. They just, and when they come on here, it's very disheartening to me, because it's like I had said, it's a regression, and it's not needed. This is not the time for that. We should be readying ourselves for the dark winter. I mean, these bastards said it. You think they're lying about that? You think they're lying about that, what's going to happen? No, they're going to try to make it as dark on us as they possibly can. So just be ready. Anyway, I'm about to wind this down, guys. What do you think? I don't even know how many people are in here. I got the settings way low on everything, the light and everything, so that the battery will last me. It lasted last time. They cut me off, but I still have like a lot of battery left, so it's not a problem with that. It's just almost been 3 hours. It's pouring down rain here. It's raining here now, but it was snowing earlier, and we had snow on the ground. That's exactly how I feel. I'm on an iPhone, laptop. Let's see. Trying to catch up with this, boys and girls. All right. Great stream, my brother. I always burn my pizza. Always, never fails. Winmore, I thought I made you since you are a 100% European white man, you are now. Thank you, Devin. You're a wise man too, my friend. I see what you say in those in Reg's. That's why I love that you guys came here. I'm so glad that it worked between me and Reg, because I love Reg. You guys don't even know. I just think he's the best, man. I like him a lot. I love him. He's a brother, and he's half, native and half white man, and so he understands both. And I love Damon. Damon Incessant, MGTOW. He's half white and half black, and he's a good friend of mine. And I love him, man. He's so smart and he's so honest. How could I hate him? But they both understand, being that they have white, they're half white, and they fully understand why Jack would talk the way he talks. Because I'm a white, and I'm so sick of how whites are being treated, man. It's not because I'm a victim. No, I will victimize you. We are victimizers. We've been repressed. You don't want us to do what we are programmed to do. Through genetic code, not Jewish rhetoric or that you might see on your TV. My genetic code tells you that there's a reason why they studied the genome. They wanted to know what made these warrior whites so crazy that they would go around the world spreading everything. All right, they had to figure out how to break us, and they had to make our women into whores and make it seem like that they were whores, and to make it seem like they were easy, and to make it. But that's not true. That's not true. I see little girls running around that are still good women, and I see, I call little girls 25-year-old women. They're still good ones. They're still out there, and they care. And good people, and they marry my nephews, and they're good, and they try really hard, and they're not easy. And no, there's good people out there, good whites. Black people always get so mad whenever I say these things about dindus and joggers and burning and rape, and they hate me sometimes. And why? Because they're thinking to themselves, hey man, I got an uncle or a mom or whoever, right? And they're not bad like that. And they never did talk shit about white people behind the scenes in the houses, man. This guy's out of his fucking mind. And they get mad at me because I think that because I say those things and I generalize, and then in the next breath, they'll tell me that I'm have white privilege and that I'm a colonizer. And you see, hypocritical motherfuckers. White women are the least likely to date outside their own race. And that is true. And that I've seen that statistic in multiple places. You're right. They're the very least to do it. It's put on the TV that they're out there twerking and fucking and sucking and all this. And they show the pornography and they show all that. And no, it's not true. For the most part, it's not true. Okay? And it's a bunch of Jewish rhetoric. So when I say I have disdain, and I had said to somebody that I was going to get in on why, that if I believe in the Jesus thing, and if he was a Jew, then why do I have such disdain for Jews? Well, I kind of just explained it to you. I don't have disdain for the Jew next door. I'm talking about the real Jewish venom that you'll get from Jews that believe that they're the chosen people, the Chosenites, the small hats. Okay, those are the ones I don't like. Could be anybody. It could be any Jew. It might be my next door neighbor. I'm not thinking that it is, though. Okay. So, just like with blacks, just like with whites, you're going to be with the people. If you see race traders, you always question that. I mean, when I see a white girl with black guys at the mall or whatever, I used to see that when I was a kid. Now I used to question, like, what the hell are they seeing in these guys? What is this? This guy, she's dating this and this, what is it? Because she wants a freaky, deaky sex action? Or is it that she wants this is the kind of questions I used to ask myself when I was young. I used to care. If I saw one white girl with a black guy, and now people are saying, "Oh, it's happening by the droves." No, there's 200 million white people in this country. That means there's 100 million white women, basically white girls. All right. If you think that most of them are banging outside their race, you're out of your fucking mind. We're not going anywhere. Okay. If I was you, if I was black, and if I was Mexican, and I was all those different races, and I was in this country, I'd worry that whites were going to breed with you and that you would be taken out and that your bloodline would be lost. I'm not too worried about my bloodline. They all do. In the end, you're right, Rooster. And I was thinking that as I was sitting here talking. As I sit here talking about my next door neighbor, this theoretical next door neighbor that I don't even have. But just like black people, they have the race card. The Jays have the J card. They do, and they will play it. I'm not black. I'm not white. I'm Jewish. You better fucking believe it. When they're in their house eating their matzo balls and fucking spinning their dreidel, they're Jewish. They're not white. All right. But when they're out in the streets, they try to be as white as possible. And they try to have this beautiful Nordic nose that I have, that every Jew wishes they had. And this jawline, they wish they had all this shit, but they don't. And I talk about looks because I'm a white. You can see it in me. And you've got these Jews trying to be everything but what they are. And then I'm not white, I'm Jewish comes out. And then they want to separate themselves whenever they think that the programming that they've used on all these POCs and shit and whites has worked. Believe me, bro, I know what you're saying. I believe you, Rooster, I do. King of the Jews, right. It said that he was the king of the Jews. And then all the Jews were mocking him and the Romans. And then whenever Jesus died, the veil it was torn there the Roman the soldier was at Jesus's feet when he died. And he said, surely this man must have been the Son of God. So, we've all read that story. See, I don't get involved in a lot of that anymore. I just utilize the Jesus story and, and I believe, I believe he died for our sins and all that. I have come to terms with how I believe that. Okay. And so for years I didn't, but I came around again and I found out how it could be true. And I found it out. And because I asked God to show me, and he did. All right. So when you get to talking about Jews and shit, and then you say, well, Jesus was a Jew. Okay, well, then you're going to have people who are going to argue who was who and who was a Jew and who was a this and a Gentile and an Edomite. And all that is so fucking tiring to me, man. I'm talking about the present. They call it the present, like they said in that stupid ass movie. They call it the present because that's exactly what it is. It's a present. For you and me. The past is gone. If you're a depressed person, then you're wallowing in the past. And if you're an anxious person, then you're worried about the future that doesn't exist. But if you're a even-keeled man or woman, then you're living in the time that you're in right now. The daily span, the daily grind that you're in right now, you're living in it day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute. It's your gift. It's our gift. It's our present. And so let's not be worried and depressed about all this bullshit that's going on, man, about our pasts. And let's not be anxious and about what might come tomorrow, man. Not promise that. Anyway, I think we should end the stream on that. Because like I said, guys, I was not feeling it today. I was going to go to work and work today. And instead, I have tomorrow off. And I'm going to go in, my son and I, we're going to go in and work. Got a lot of work to do. And I've got to help my boss. He's a good man. He takes care of me, and I'm going to take care of him. And that's what I'm going to do. So I need to go to sleep for that. And I'm going to. I'm going to go and I'm going to go to sleep. That's what I'm going to do, guys. I suggest you do the same if you're in the time zones that need to do that, or unwind, maybe sit down and talk to somebody in your family or call somebody up. Maybe, you know, maybe that's what this was about. Maybe you should call somebody that you missed. Maybe you heard something in the chat there, or maybe I said something that triggered something in your mind, and you need to talk to somebody in your family, or maybe a friend you haven't spoken to in a while. Maybe that's what this was about. You know, I said God works in mysterious ways. The Bible said that, and he does. And maybe he might even work through this vessel, this ugly Jack Torrance character. Maybe. But anyway, guys, you know what? That's what I had for you tonight, man. And I think I'm going to end it right there. I'm so appreciative for everybody that was in here with me tonight, and I can't thank you guys enough. And we had some fun in there. I mean, man, I'm never going to listen to this. I'll leave it up. If they don't show it, I will be amazed. Uh, uh, I'm not going to listen to it. I don't even want to know what I said because I know what I said. Hey, guys. I love you all. I've said that before. How can a guy from the internet love me? Dude, hey, I love you guys, man. You guys were here with me, and you could have spent your time doing something else, and you could have entertained yourself with other things. But instead, you came in here and you spent time with me. You spent 3 hours with me. Okay? And I appreciate that. And I'll read through the live chats. I love to do that and see what you guys are really talking about. Margaret Quelliar. Well, isn't that nice? Make you a moderator. I've seen you before in here. Let's see. It was a good chat. You know, that's good. I was babysitting, missed most. It's okay. Faith, I know you missed that. And I know a lot of you guys missed these, but you can listen to them again. You know, it's fun. Hooping and hollering. That's right. We do that a lot here. I love to hoop and holler and get wound up. It's fun. But that's just Jack trying to be a jackass. My mom always calls me a jackass. It's her name for me, you know. And I am a bit of a jackass. But the thing is that we can get serious, man. I can think hard on things, and I really can. And I can go deep. And I don't usually do that. But I was saying that I wanted to start doing that. And that's what these 2 live streams with just me on them have started to be. It's me learning how I can be honest with you guys and still keep it inside of something that is structured enough to where we can get some information and have fellowship with each other and have church on Sunday, man. That's what this really is. Because I talk about Christ and I talk about God, and you guys are spiritual enough, you know, that we're having church. So it's the Church of Jack. It's unbelievable that it would come to this, and it's not blasphemy. I believe, and all grace and everything to Jesus Christ, my Savior. Not me. Not for the glory of Jack. Look at me. All right, brothers and sisters. I love you all, man. Amir's tumor, and I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, I will be preaching it. I think I've made everybody a moderator now. Reg. I love you, Reg. All right, guys. I'm going to get out of here, man. You guys have a good one. Let's get together. I want to end it. Yes, I do.